Upon further review, and it's always fun to catch up with former KMA-landers that are doing good things at the collegiate level. And one of those right now is Lauren Williams, former St. Albert standout. Has been a large part of the success right now that Midland volleyball is having. And Lauren is with us to talk about it. Lauren, how are things going today?
Going good so far.
Good. Thanks for joining us. First off, just talk about this. It's your freshman year, and you're having a big impact. The team is playing well. What have been your thoughts on how things have gone to your first year there in Midland?
Everything's been going pretty good. I mean, it's a freshman year, so it's a little nerve-wracking going into collegiate level playing a sport, but I think it's super fun. I love the girls so much, and it's been a pretty good experience so far, I think.
Yeah, talk about the transition from high school to college. You, of course, played, had a great career there at St. Albert, played in a lot of big matches and against really good teams, but does that prepare you for the move to the collegiate level?
I think so. I know the conference that I played in, the Hawkeye 10, was a super competitive conference when I was in high school, and I think it still is now. And just being able to get the bigger competition really helped me, and going against really great girls and really great teams. And now going into college, transitioning was a little difficult. There's a lot of more technical things that I feel like I had to learn as I was going into college. But I think as I go along, it was a lot more easier to
Upon further review, and it's always fun to catch up with former KMA-landers that are doing good things at the collegiate.
Let's get it started in here.
And the bass keeps running, running, and 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 running, running,
And welcome in. It is week 6 of the high school football season. It is a Friday night, and you know what that means. It is time now for the Bedford Auto Center High School Football Preview Show. I'm Derek Martin with you from now until midnight this evening. Ryan Matheny will be joining me. We've got friends all over the place tonight and going to be taking you through lots of great KMA-led football action. And right now, though, this is all reserved for a little preview time. And unfortunately, we will not have a Page County Super Bowl preview. The Shenandoah-Clarinda rivalry that dates back many, many years will not be played tonight for the first time since 1927. Now, there will be a result officially in the record book. Clarinda is a 17-0 winner. However, Shenandoah, their season has been canceled. Too many injuries, not enough remaining varsity players. They will not play the Page County Super Bowl tonight. But there are plenty of other matchups that we can talk about, including a big one in Red Oak tonight in Class 2A District 8 with Greene County at 4-1 overall and 2-0 in the district, traveling to take on the Tigers, who are 4-1 and 1-1. Head coach for Red Oak, Michael Nordine, talking with KMA Sports about the matchup.
Pretty even run pass. I noticed they try and get in that high formation and pound it, but then they get in shotgun and they spread you out in empty formations. And that quarterback, the Embersall kid, they had Sadler last year, an all-district quarterback, and then they just bring Embersall in a junior, and he doesn't skip a beat. So Duncan, he does a great job over there. He'll have him well coached up and well ready scheme-wise for us, and we got to move the ball. We just got to find ways to move the ball. They got the Rumley kid on the D-line that he can create some havoc in there for us too. So, it's going to be a good run defense versus a solid run offense, and a solid offense versus our good defense. So I think it'll be another knockout, drag-out fight like we did against CMC, and hopefully we fix the details and we create some turnovers and we come out on the right end.
Once again, Red Oak head football coach Michael Nordine as his team gets set for a big matchup with Greene County. We also asked Coach a little bit about what it will take for his team and what it will come down to.
All comes down to the O-line, D-line. If we can get our O-line to get a good push and we don't get stuck in the penalty problems like we had a few weeks ago, I think we'll be all right driving the ball. Riley, we tell him to keep grinding, and you'll find your spot and you'll find your play that you're just going to pop one. Defensively, we got to play our game. We got to worry about our keys. We can't get sucked in because they're going to run it, and then all of a sudden try and throw one over the top of you. So we just got to trust in our keys, play our game, and hopefully it comes out in our favor on Friday night.
That's Michael Nordine, Red Oak head football coach. Again, Class 2A District 8 this evening. Looking forward to it. Also tonight, Des Moines Christian is at Clark. By the way, we will have Ken Ponslow there in Red Oak later on this evening, providing reports from that one. Other KMA Sports Class 2A top 10 matchups. Central Lyon, George Little Rock, our number 1 team, is at Unity Christian. Number 2 rated Williamsburg is making a trip to Mid-Prairie tonight. Number 3, West Marshall hosts PCM. Estherville Lincoln Central's at number 4, Spirit Lake. Number 5, OABCIG, looking to bounce back from their loss last week to Spirit Lake as they will host Pocahontas area. Number 6, West Lions at Okoboji Milford. Number 7, Waller at Catholic hosts Waukon. Number 8, New Hamptons at number 9, Osage. And Garner Hayfield Ventura is at number 10, Crestwood. That's our rundown there in Class 2A. We're going to take a break. We will get into Class 8 player and hear from coaches at Bedford, Cam, Woodbine, Mormon Trail, Southeast Warren, and Coon Rapids Bayard. Stay tuned. It's a Friday night, and it's Barrett Auto Center High School Football Preview Show.
Just jump into it. Y'all hear about it? The P's will do it. Get started. Get stupid.
Welcome back on a Friday night in KMA land. Derek Martin with you tonight. It's the Barrett Auto Center High School Football Preview Show, and as mentioned, I'm with you from now until midnight this evening. Ryan Matheny will be joining me very soon. We have lots of reporters. We have lots of video streams. We'll be telling you about those throughout the preview show. We move into Class 8 player, and we start out in Class 8 player District 9, where the Bedford Bulldogs are 3-2 overall, following a victory over Exira Elkhorn Kimballton outside the district last week. They're 1-2, though, in the district, and could use a win tonight as they go to East Mills. Wolverines are 3-2 and 1-2. Bedford head coach Jeremy Nally talking with KMA Sports this week about the matchup.
They're super scrappy on defense. I mean, they just fly to the ball. And then on offense, you always got to count for Storton Becker, phenomenal athlete. And then the receivers outside, Krause and McGrew. And then their quarterback is Shifty. He's a good little athlete.
We're going to hear from Coach Nally on both sides of the ball. He starts with the offensive keys.
We've got to try and stay balanced, do a little bit better job with our run game. I felt like we struggled on getting to where we needed to be Friday night as far as the run game. That'll be some things we'll work on this week, and then making the plays when they're out there.
And now the defensive keys for tonight's Bedford East Mills matchup.
We've just got to make sure that we're getting 8 guys to the ball whenever they get it, and then try and limit their big plays. They're going to hit one here or there. We just have to make sure that we forget that play, move on to the next, and be ready to play the next down. Jeremy
Nally, head coach for Bedford there in Class 8 player District 9. Also tonight in that district, number 10 rated Fremont Mills goes to East Union as the Knights try to run their win streak to 5 in a row. Speaking of 5-game win streaks, number 7 Lennox is 5-0. They are at Griswold this evening. We will have reports from all of those, and actually Trevor Mater and Tom Moore have video of Bedford East Mills at our video stream page at KMAland.com. FM East Union, we've got Kevin Thornton there, and Lennox at Griswold. We'll have Jesse Cox on hand for that one. Let's move on to 8-player District 10. Pretty good matchup in Audubon tonight with Coon Rapids Bayard at 3-2 overall and 2-1 in the district, while Audubon is 2-4 and 2-1. Could be a spot for maybe the number 3 spot in that district, maybe even number 2 if the cards go right for him. Talked with Chris Moore, head coach for Coon Rapids Bayard, earlier this week about Audubon.
Starts with Aaron Olson, quarterback. He's the heartbeat of the team. They run everything through him. And they do a great job of just spreading the field offensively, and they're putting you in space and putting pressure on you to make that one-on-one tackle. We got to be ready for that, and we got to win those battles.
Well, I mentioned playoff positioning. Very, very important when it comes to this game. Here's Coach Moore on that.
We win one of the next 3. We have, outside chance of getting in. We win 2 out of the 3, really good chance. We win all 3, we have a chance to share the district title, maybe, possibility if West Harrison gets tripped up in these next 3 weeks. Or definitely making the playoffs as the second team in the district, hopefully. It's all right to talk about that stuff because, you got to talk about it and dream about it to make it come true.
Once again, Chris Moore, head coach for Coon Rapids Bayard. They are in Audubon tonight, taking on the Wheelers in 8-player District 10. Also in 8-player District 10, number 9 West Harrison, 5-0 on the season, traveling to Woodbine. The Tigers are coming off of a come-from-behind win over Boyer Valley last week for their first win of the year. Dustin Crook is the head coach for the Tigers, and he talked with KMA Sports about the Hawkeyes.
They got a good senior class and a couple other guys that fill key roles. They're just a very physical, athletic team. So we knew they were going to be tough. I mean, everybody's seen it coming from what they had coming back from last year. So we'll have our hands full.
Well, it's a West Harrison bunch that has a lot of dudes. They got dudes in the backfield. They got dudes at quarterback. They got dudes along the line, certainly along the line for sure. And Woodbine will have to hang in there. It's a very young Woodbine team. 9 of their 18 players are freshmen.
I watched film against them in Coon, and they battled there. We were able to match up and play physical against Coon a couple weeks ago. Just had about 11 plays that didn't go our way against Coon Rapids. I mean, we beat them in the second half, first quarter against Coon Rapids, and had a bad second quarter. I think Coon was on top of West Harrison early, and West Harrison came roaring back in the second half. So I look for our guys to be able to compete with them, and we're going to have to play good assignment football to keep it close and be in the fourth quarter.
Might be a sneaky one to watch tonight. Might not be. We'll see. Number 9, West Harrison at Woodbine this evening. Also in Class 8-player District 10 tonight, we've got Cam at Exira Elkhorn Kimballton and Cam head coach Barry Bauer talking with KMA Sports. His team coming off of a very impressive win over Audubon last week, and now an Exira EHK team that pretty desperately needs a victory. Here's Coach Bauer on the Spartans.
It starts off with Trey. I mean, Trey Peterson does a very, very nice job from an offensive standpoint, also defensive standpoint. You know, he's very, very tough. Tough to bring down, tough to kind of get a gauge on what he does. And when you have a competitor like Trey, you've got to make sure that you hone in on what he does. And then their receiving core. When you got 2 guys that have over 300 yards receiving, that can go get up and get the football at 6'4", you've got a pretty good dynamic on the edge. And we've got to be very, very aware of where those guys are and where they're aligned. And just kind of work, from there. And so, we know that we've got our hands full, from that standpoint. But I know that he's got some schematic things that we'll have to be ready for, on Friday night and see what they come up with.
Cam has been very impressive, both offensively, defensively, replacing many of their stars from last year that won the state championship. And on the defensive side, it's going to be very important tonight. Trying to slow down, head coach's kid. Trey Peterson.
Well, I think one of the things that we have tried to do was try to find kids that fit the right spot. I think that's one of the things that we've been playing with all year long, whether it's people in the secondary to people that have been up front, and we're starting to find our way and also trying to understand what our role is. And then when you just have relentless pursuit to the football and you run and you give great effort, hey, then you can overcome anything that you have. And that's what they did on Friday.
Yeah, absolutely.
It wasn't anything, to be honest with you, Nick, that was magical and scheme or anything else like that. And I'll be the first one to tell you, oh yeah, we did this. We didn't. It was just a matter of, our kids bought into the system. They ran to the football. They had great effort, and they were ready to play.
Barry Bauer, head coach for the Cam Cougars, again looking for another big win tonight there in 8-player District 10. All right, in 8-player District 8 tonight, Mormon Trail at Martinsdale St. Mary's is a very, very important game. Mormon Trail's 3-2 overall, 3-1 in the district. Martinsdale St. Mary's trying to work their way into potential number 3 spot in the district, playoff positioning. They're 2-3 overall, playing well of late at 2-2 in the district. Mormon Trail head coach Travis Johnson talking with KMA Sports this week about the Blue Devils.
That Cade Mullins is a stud at running back, and they feed him the ball. Kid's big, and he runs hard. And first of all, you're going to have to stop the run with him if you want a chance to beat Martinsdale. That's what it looks like to me on film. We knew their passing game would be pretty balanced. It has been the last couple of years. They do a good job up there in their passing game as far as our coaches go. It's the run game that we have to worry about the most, I think, this year. That's probably where we're the weakest because we had to replace our whole defensive line up front. And so stopping the run is one of our, it's probably our Achilles heel. And so that's something we're going to have to work on big this week and try to take away from them to give ourselves a chance to win the game.
Once again, Travis Johnson, Mormon Trail head coach. They are at Martinsdale St. Mary's tonight, and we will have Mike Wood there providing reports from it. Now, this is a game that Coach Johnson, he doesn't really beat around the bush about it. He thinks it's going to be a high-scoring game.
We're going to have to move the ball, control the clock the best we can, and put points on the board for sure. I really see this probably being a shootout, to be honest with you. I mean, both defenses have struggled a little bit during the year in certain aspects, and, we're going to probably try to take advantage of that, and I'm sure they're going to take advantage as well. So I can see this being a shootout for sure.
Once again, Travis Johnson, head coach for Mormon Trail. Also in Class 8 player District 8, Seymour's at Lamoni. Somebody's getting their first win of the season. Ryan Olson will have reports from that one, and we're looking forward as well to Moravia at Southeast Warren. I mentioned Mike Wood at Martinsdale St. Mary's. I was lying to you. He's actually going to be at this one. Moravia 3-0, Southeast Warren 3-0 in the district, and we had a chance to talk with the head coach, Shane Rowlands of Southeast Warren this week, about Moravia.
I think they're fifth in the state in points per game. They score almost 62 points a game. They've got 4 very good wide receivers, a quarterback that throws a really good ball, an O-line that does a nice job. So they're going to really challenge us in the secondary and in our pass coverage and alignments.
You don't have to be a genius. You don't have to know everything about football to figure this one out. Both teams are 3-0. The winner of it likely going to be the district champion.
Right now, it's us and Moravia are the 2 only undefeated teams in district play. So, I mean, if we want to be the district champs, we have got to take care of business this week here. So that's just the reoccurring theme. The boys have wanted, their goal is the playoffs. If we want to secure that, we've got to take care of it this week.
Once again, that's Shane Rowlands, head coach for Southeast Warren. Warhawks hosting Moravia tonight. Also in 8-player District 7, Montezuma's at Twin Cedars, Melcher Dallas at Woodward Academy. BGM Brooklyn goes to Grandview Christian. In 8-player District 1 tonight, Glidden Ralston hosts Kingsley Pearson. How about number 1, Remsen St. Mary's at number 5, Newell Fonda. Head coach for Newell Fonda, Brian Wilkin, joined me on Friday's Whip Around to talk about the game.
Each and every week, our motto is to go 1-0. Mm-hmm. And, we don't, we never want to be too high or too low, and we want to stay focused on the process. And that's really what we've tried to stress, each and every week is stay focused on the process, stay focused on making plays, stay focused on doing your job. Stay focused on getting better and go 1-0. And, we hope there's a lot of football left to be played, and we got to continually get better.
Also in 8-player District 1, Siouxland Christian at River Valley. In 8-player non-district, Murray is at Stanton Essex this week. Boyer Valley is at Arweva. Collins Maxwell visits Baxter. Rest of the KMA Sports 8-player top 10 matchups tonight. Number 2 rated Don Bosco is on the road at winless GMG. Number 4, Waco Wayland at Lone Tree. Number 6, Turkey Valley is at Clarksville. And number 8 rated Grettinger Terrell, Ruth Van Ayrshire hosting Harris Lake Park in a sneaky matchup. All right, we've run through 8-player. Let's take a break. Move on to small class 11-man, A and 1A. We'll talk some Mount Air, Southwest Valley, Missouri Valley, Tri-Center, Trainer, and Underwood here just a bit on the Bedford Center High School Football Preview Show. Welcome back in on a Friday night Bedford Center High School Football Preview Show. Derek Martin here with you as we continue to count you down to kickoff here in Week 6, getting set for a fantastic evening of football with you till midnight this evening, and continuing here on our preview show. And we are going to start in Class A. Class A, District 7, where the Mount Air Raiders are the number 10 rated team in the KMA Sports State poll again this week. 4-1 overall, 2-1 in the district. They're at St. Albert tonight. It's a Falcons team at 1-4 and 1-2 and banged up pretty badly at the moment. But Ryan Victor, head coach for Mount Air, knows St. Albert, well, they're one of the better programs in the history of Iowa. Talked a bit about this year's group.
They're much improved from last year. They are physical up front. And then, they got Brendan Monahan as their playmaker, and they're putting it in a ton of spots to be successful. And they got a quarterback that is able to get the ball out to them pretty quick, and their defense flies to the football and plays physical. It's a St. Albert's football team that is part of a program and tradition that expects at getting back to that because they are playing some good football. They're a few plays from having a completely different record, so their record is deceiving.
Coach Victor continued on with this matchup and talked about what it will take for his team to get another victory.
We've got to be real sound in what we do defensively and read our keys and be tough up front and be able to battle with them and bang with them up there because they want to run the football, and we know exactly how that is. And so we've got to be able to have our front seven be super physical, and our DB's got to be ready to make tackles in space and contribute to that run game.
Ryan Victor, Mount Air head coach, tonight's looking for their 5th win in 6 tries this season. We will have reports from Joe Narmy throughout the night. Also tonight in that district, Sydney is at number 4 rated AHSTW. Jan Harris will be there for that. We've also got Earlham at Southwest Valley. Pretty good matchup. So much so that we will have video at our video stream page at KMAland.com. It's Cody Konishny and Ethan Hewitt are together tonight. And we also sent Tom Moore there, our latest Talking with Tom segment.
Your game Friday night now with Earlham, I'm going to call that a mirror game because you guys are just exactly alike. I mean, you're going to run the ball and play tough defense and be physical, and special teams are going to make a difference.
Well, I'd call them more of a spread team because they're going to throw the ball 4 times where we're only going to throw the ball 3 times. So, no, it is exactly the same. I've said it for 7 years now. We've played them, and I've called it bully ball of what they're doing. They're going to run dive, counter, and sweep. They know what they're going to run. We know what they're going to run, but they say stop it. And teams have just an unbelievably hard time stopping them. They've got foot-to-foot splits. They onside kick it. Everything they do is just a little bit more, just a little unorthodox is what I say, but they have been so highly successful doing what they've been doing. And it's just about, like I told these guys, we got to put on our, big guy pants and go to work because this is going to be a tough game. It's going to be one of the quickest games probably done on Friday night because that clock's just going to keep on churning. It's going to be about who gets the extra possession because time on the clock is going to be big. When we want to put together 8 to 12, play drives for 6-7 minutes, they want to do the same thing. So you might only touch the ball twice in a half, and you better be able to finish those drives with points.
Once again, looking forward to Earlham and Southwest Valley tonight. That is going to be a good one tonight. I think a sneaky good one with Ethan Hewitt and Cody Konishny. Thanks a lot to Tom, head coach Tom Moore, and head coach Anthony Donahue. Also, Class A District 8 tonight. IKM Manning is on the road at Logan Magnolia. Tri-Center takes on Lawton Bronson. That one also on the road. Trojans now 2-1 in the district, 2-3 overall. Their head coach Ryan Schroeder taking a look at Lawton Bronson.
I think we're just going to have to, deal with their speed a little bit. Our secondary is going to be tested, and that's the thing that we've really got to work on. We haven't, we've been pretty strong in run defense, and the short passing game hasn't hurt us. It's been the longer, deep balls that have got us a few times this year. So we really got to focus on that this week of practice.
Just like last year, Tri-Center starting to make that run, that playoff push. And Coach Schroeder talked a little bit about the playoff positioning that could come with another victory.
I think the guys know, what's at stake, but we don't focus on it. We know we got to go out and perform every Friday night and take this thing one game at a time. There's no one. All these teams are, the remainder of our season, all 3 of these teams are really, really good. They each have their own individual strengths. Lawton and Westwood are very similar, and they're going to spread us out. And we haven't seen that this year really, other than Underwood and Trainer. They spread us out, but that was early in the season, and it wasn't district play. So it's a little bit different, atmosphere, and a little bit more, important to where we want to get to. So we've got to come out week to week and not look. This team's nowhere capable of, looking past anybody. We know we've got to come out and do our best every week, and we'll see how it goes.
Looking forward to Tri-Center at Lawton Bronson a little bit later on tonight there in A District 8. Also, the number 3 rated Woodbury Central is at Westwood this evening. In A District 6, Madrid is at Wayne, Ogden is at Belle Plaine, and Colfax Mingo is at number 6, Linville Sully. Class A non-district play. How about a little Missouri Valley chatter today? The Big Reds are 0-5 coming into this one at Riverside, which is 1-4. It's a pretty deceiving record there for Riverside. For Missouri Valley, they're just focusing on themselves, trying to get better and better each week. And Coach Rick Barker talking a little bit about the matchup with Riverside.
Right now, we're in that phase. We're really worried about us. What Riverside does is going to deal us some fits, athletically in space. They throw the ball around really well. They play hard. They're a stinging little defense. And so we have to just make sure that we're back to alignment and assignment and technique and doing the things that we need to do well. And we're just going to keep coaching our kids hard to get better and to improve regardless of who that opponent is. And so we have to improve on our end. to make sure that we can compete and go out and give a good performance on Friday night.
Coach Barker talked a little bit more about this matchup, about his team and what they're looking for tonight.
Just that improvement. We saw significant progress going into the Logan game. The amount of physicality our kids played with, the amount of effort our kids played with. I felt like that was the first game we had actually played 4 quarters of football. We competed on all 3 phases of the game, and we just now have to continue to build on that. We have to continue to become more physical, be able to run the football. We've really struggled with a new, young, inexperienced offensive line, getting Alexis Manzo going, and we have to be able to produce with him. We have to be able to get yards with him, keep our offense on the field. And we've just got to continue to work to do those things.
Once again, Missouri Valley at Riverside. Nick Crone tonight will have reports from that one. Also got North Mahaska at Columbus Junction on the schedule. Other KMA Sports Class A top 10 teams this evening. West Hancock, the number 1 rated team, is at number 5. Hartley Melvin Sanborn. Jay Eilers was on the Friday Whip Around, head coach for HMS.
They stay true to who they are. They run their single wing, and they run it very well. It starts with their fullback trap. I am glad Francis is not back. The 2,000-yard rusher they had last year. But I'm going to tell you right now, the Kale Zuhl kid, number 7, he's playing their fullback. He's running extremely hard. Their offensive line blocks second level as good as I've ever seen.
Full interview with Coach Eilers is online and available now at KMAland.com. Also in Class A top 10, number 2 Grundy Center is at Nashua Plainfield. Lake Mills is at number 7 Newman Catholic. Number 8 rated Galen Catholic is at South O'Brien. And number 9 St. Ansgar will be hosting North Butler. Moving on to Class 1A in District 6 tonight, Van Buren County is at Central Decatur as the Cardinals try to move to 3-0 in district play. Pleasantville at Pella Christian. And number 10 Sigourney Keota coming off the win. The upset win over Pella Christian last week. They try to keep it rolling at Cardinal tonight. In 1A District 7, number 1 Van Meter visits Nottoway Valley. ACG sees at Interstate 35, and Panorama goes to West Central Valley. And then in Class 1A District 8, our game of the week, number 2 rated Underwood hosting Trainer. First of all, Underwood head coach Nate McHaleson on our latest Talking with Tom.
45-0 last year, but they're 4-1 this year and improved. Is this a trap game?
I don't think it's a trap game because I know how much that we respect that program and understand what they're capable of. And I think, just some of the changes that they've made, I think that makes them, all the much better, honestly. Just watching some of their stuff on film so far this year. But I wouldn't call it a trap game because I think that our kids understand the importance, and we've got enough kids, I think, that understand the importance of each and every game and how meaningful they all are. And not to take any of them for granted, and to get where we want to go, we got to go 1-0 each week. So that's again going to be the focus this week.
Talk about them defensively. What are they going to do that's going to pose you some issues?
They're really similar to us defensively. Honestly, I think they fly around. They've got a lot of playmakers on the back end. I think they've returned quite a few interceptions for touchdowns as well this year. I think very similar in that regard. I think their front 7 are really active players, and that causes a lot of problems. It's tougher to hit somebody on the move than somebody that stands still. So they're active. They're not huge guys, but they're physical for their size, and I think that in itself poses problems.
And obvious on the offensive side, they're a little better balanced than they've been in the years past, running and passing the ball. That's always a challenge.
100%, and I think Coach Casey, I think he's talked about it several times this year in terms of just how to use some of those special athletes they have over there. I think that they're maximizing their abilities. I think that their ability to run and pass is making them a difficult offense to prepare for, and honestly, that's one thing we're trying to do each week offensively as well. So I understand the philosophy. I completely get it, and it poses problems all over the field.
Thanks again to Coach McHaleson and to Coach Moore for our latest Talking with Tom segment. Let's go to the other side now. Trainers 4-1 overall. They're 2-0 going up against the undefeated Eagles. And Jeff Casey, the head coach for Trainer, taking a look.
They're gonna do some basic football things really, really well. They're gonna run inside zone. They're gonna run some gap schemes. They play fast physical defense. They have a quarterback that I feel like has been playing for a really long time. that is really, really good and really tough. We've seen him take some hits, and he bounces right back up and keeps throwing the ball on the money to his receivers. And so they're well coached, they're well prepared. Their coaching staff, I know them well enough to know that they're really, really good coaches, and these guys are they're really, really talented. So luckily for us on our end of it, we feel like we've got really good athletes as well, and we feel like there's some matchups there that are probably a little bit more favorable to us than they were in the past, just based on kind of what things that we're doing differently and how we're utilizing our skill set a little bit differently.
This one has definitely been slanted towards Underwood over the last several years, and Coach Casey on what it will take for his team to pull what some might call a monumental upset.
We just need to stay focused. It's been kind of a buzzword for us here lately, is staying focused, and whether you're way up or you're behind, or things look grim or things look good, or it's hot or it's rainy or whatever the situation, just focus on your job. It's all we've talked about with the guys, and so we'll continue to speak that language with them this week, and hope that on Friday we can just stay focused on the task at hand, take it one play at a time.
Once again, Jeff Casey, head coach for the Trainer Cardinals. Also tonight in that 1A District 8, number 4, Kemper Catholic hosts East Sac County, and somebody's getting their first win here as well. West Monona going to MVAO COU. Our KMA Sports Class 1A Top 10, number 3 rated West Branch going to number 7 Durant, a battle of unbeatens. Joel Diedrich's head coach for Durant on our Friday whip around.
Yeah, West Branch and us have gone back and forth, and like you said, they've been very, very good games, and they're very well coached. Coach Peterson does an excellent job there. Coach Peterson does, and he's got a great staff, and he's got athletes at every level there. So we just have to get ready with that and play our fundamentally best against them and see how the chips fall, so to speak. So they're going to bring their A game. We've got to bring our A game, and hopefully it'll be a good match.
Again, full interview with him is now available at our Upon Further Review program page. You can also subscribe to our podcast to get that full interview right into your feed. Number 5, West Sioux is at Ridgeview tonight. Number 6, Dyke New Hartford's at number 8. Applington Parkersburg at number 9. MFL Marmac will host Postville this evening. That's the rundown of Small Class A and Class 1A, and we are going to take a break, and we'll be back with large class as we go to Glenwood and to Creston as well. Stay tuned. It's the Barrett Auto Center High School Football Preview Show.
You wanted control.
Welcome back in. It is the Barrett Auto Center High School Football Preview Show. It is a Friday night. It is me, Derek Martin, here this evening with you. It is week 6, and we are getting set for some fantastic matchups, taking it right up to kickoff, and then with you all throughout the evening on our Connection Show, Scoreboard Show until midnight. We're moving on to Class 3A, District number 1, for a little look at some scheduling. Carroll is at Bishop Heelan Catholic, also MLC Floyd Valley, at Sergeant Bluff Luton, and Sioux Center's at Boyden Hall Rock Valley. In 3A6, number 1 Harlan is hosting Atlantic tonight. We'll have Matt Goebbels there providing reports. And then how about this one? Number 6 Creston and number 3 ADM. Battle of 5-0 rated teams. Brian Morrison, head coach for the Creston Panthers, taking a look at this ADM outfit.
At quarterback, they're efficient. I think the quarterback's at 67% as far as completion percentage. He has 6 touchdowns with 3 picks. So good there. Obviously, their run game with the quarterback. And number 15, the Doll kid, 65 carries at 101 carries. So, they're doing good things at the running the football, and then receiving. Obviously, they spread it out. They have the Morris kid, trying to think, the Doll kid at running back. The D1 kid and Benetti. I mean, so that they have probably a dozen receivers that have touches this year. So. They're an explosive team on film. They're an impressive team to watch. That we'll see a lot of different formations, and they're no huddle. So it's going to be one of those things where we got to keep it simple for our kids and keep the ball in front of us.
Remember last week, Brennan Hayes rushing for 433 yards. I don't know that you can count on that every single week. Certainly not 433. But what are some keys this week?
We have to play our best football. We've been playing clean as far as penalties are concerned. We were not that last week. We can't play behind the sticks against that team. Their special teams are dynamic. They have the best punter in the state that, they're going to kick the ball off to us, and, we're going to start on the 20-yard line. So if we don't get field position in our favor right out of the gates, then it's going to be a long night because, they're an explosive team that can score a lot of points if they have a short field. So, we got to make sure we don't flip the field. And so I think that those are the two biggest keys is field position and the penalty situations. And then, like I said, defensively, not giving up the explosive plays. They have to earn it.
Once again, Creston at ADM. We'll have Todd Jacobson there providing reports during the Connection Show. Also tonight in 3A6, we have the Battle of Unbeatens. We got the Battle of Winless, Sadell at Knoxville. Also in KMA Sports Class 3A, top 10, Mount Vernon. The number 2 rated team is at number 10, Davenport Assumption. How about number 4, Humboldt, hosting number 7, North Polk. Another guest on our Friday Whip Around, Derek Ellman, head coach for Humboldt.
They're fast. Definitely something that we're going to have to work really, really hard if we want to be successful. Is defeating that speed. That means we've got to work up front against their offensive line, get pressure on the quarterback. We got to make sure we're fundamentally sound on the backside. So when they run, we're filling the correct gaps. Do our jobs. That's our mantra every single day is talking about just doing your job, focusing on what you do, not worrying about what somebody else does. And I think if we can come in to the game focused on that, we're going to be able to have some success.
Once again, Humboldt head coach Derek Ellman, full interview at our Upon Further Review podcast page. Number 5, Solon's at home against Washington. Number 8, Nevada hosting Ballard. And number 9, Hampton-Dumont Cal is at home against Independence. Let's go to Class 4A in District 1 tonight. Denison Schleswig's at Storm Lake. Webster City's at Lamar's. Fort Dodge is at Spencer. And then in 4A District 6, the Glenwood Rams are hosting Winterset. Rams trying to move to 2-0 in district play, trying to hand Winterset a loss after the Huskies won their district opener against Dallas Center Grimes last week. Corey Foss, the head coach for Glenwood, the look.
Got some really good athletes that can make plays in the passing game, but they do some things differently on offense with their run game and some of the dynamic plays and some of the different trick plays that they run that really put a lot of pressure on a defense. You definitely can't just tee off on the run, even though I think they're a really good running team. So offensive line very strong, quarterback really good player. He can do a little bit of everything. They've got some good targets to throw to, and their backs run really hard. So we feel like we've got a good team, but Coach Sweeney and that group over there, it's going to be a fun game on Friday. A lot of good players on the field.
A little more from Foss now on this matchup and some keys for a Glenwood victory.
We need to play better defense, I would say. Overall, we need to make sure we know our assignments and limit the big plays, whether that be runs or passes, but particularly in the pass game. I know that we've got the defensive backs to do it. Hopefully with just some more reps, in their defense, we've kind of moved some guys around a little bit, and there's some different circumstances that were maybe out of their control, but we need to defend the pass better. We need to pressure the quarterback. That's part of defending the pass better, and compete some more. There can be no quit. There's going to be ups and downs in any football game, and the team that hangs together when it gets hard usually has success.
Once again, that is Corey Foss, head coach for Glenwood. They are hosting Winterset tonight in 4A District 6 action. We'll have Brian Bertini there. Also, number 1, Lewis Central is at Des Moines Hoover, and TJ hosting Dallas Center Grimes. Winner of that one gets their first victory. KMA Sports Class 4A Top 10 is number 2, Waverly Shell Rock at Marion. Number 3, Cedar Rapids Xavier hosting Pella. Number 4, Carlisle at Boone. Number 5, Indianola hosting Norwalk. Number 6, Bondurant Farrar welcomes Perry. Number 7, Iowa City Liberties at Mount Pleasant. Number 8, North Scott at home against Burlington. Number 9, Western Dubuque at Decorah. Also number 10, Webster City is at Lamar's. Also tonight in Class 5A, KMA land, Class 5A action this evening. Abraham Lincoln is at Ames. Number 10, Sioux City East at Waukee Northwest. Sioux City North at Waukee, and Sioux City West will host Des Moines East. In 5A Top 10, Bettendorf at number 1, Pleasant Valley. Number 2, Dowling hosting Johnston. Number 3, Ankeny welcomes West Des Moines Valley. Number 4, Southeast Polk is at number 7, Linmar. Number 5, Cedar Rapids Kennedy at Cedar Falls. Number 6, Prairie out of Cedar Rapids. At Waterloo West, Iowa City High. The number 8 team is at home against Davenport North. And number 9, Ankeny Centennial is at Urbandale tonight in another big one there in the Metro. All right, that's large class in Iowa. Missouri, Nebraska coming up. Nottoway Valley, Stanberry, Syracuse, Auburn, Conestoga, Johnson Brock. Well, Johnson Brock, not going to happen. They already played last night. So scratch that one. Let's go Conestoga, Auburn, Syracuse, Stanberry, Nottoway Valley. Stay tuned.
It's like strawberries on a summer evening, and it sounds.
All right, we are back on the Barrett Auto Center High School Football Preview Show. Derek Martin here with you throughout the rest of the evening up to midnight, and finishing out our preview show, the look at Missouri and Nebraska football. KMA Land Missouri 8-player tonight. East Atchison is at Mound City. We'll have Casey Martin there. Rockport hosting King City. We'll have a report from Kent Larson there. Reports throughout the night. Also DeKalb at Nottoway Valley. Battle of 1 and 4 teams, but we decided we wanted to preview this one because Nottoway Valley got win number 1 last week. Alan Calfee, head coach for Nottoway Valley, talking a bit about that win.
I think early, we talked about being more physical, like with my me coaching offensive line and stuff. I talked about being more physical, and I just think as young as we are there, just realizing how physically we've got to play, every rep, not just when we want to or when we feel like it. Just seeing how some of those teams that you talked about, and even Rockport, you didn't mention them, just seeing how physical they play. I think seeing that up front for our young kids was an eye-opener. And then with some of the injuries we've dealt with and stuff, just some of our younger kids getting thrown into the fire as freshmen before we had originally planned on them to, but a little baptism by fire, getting in there right away.
Now they go for 2-0, and they'll do it at home against DeKalb.
Well, they've got one win on the year. They beat Southwest Livingston, and then last year they struggled a little bit. They've struggled a little bit this year, but like I said, they got that one win, and then we just played Mound City on their homecoming. It's our homecoming. Our message really was make sure we're ready to go, because we don't want the same thing that what we just did last week to turn around and have that happen to us. So just really being locked in, stay focused, and then doing those little things that we talked about. And then DeKalb, they're going to try to establish the run game, control the line of scrimmage. We've got to be ready for that.
Good stuff there with Alan Calfee and Nottoway Valley hosting DeKalb tonight. Also, Stewartsville Osborne is at South Holt. Platte Valley is at Southwest Livingston. Stanberry will be at North Andrew tonight. Always a good matchup between two Grand River Conference rivals. Shane Hilton, head coach for Stanberry, talking with KMA Sports a bit about this matchup.
You go from complete spread with Pattonsburg to suck it back in tight here for North Andrew, and here it comes. They're big and physical, and they're going to run it right at you. And that's what we like. It's the games we really enjoy. That's what we like to do. So, it's one of those deals where, it's going to be a quicker game for dang sure. That. So I'm looking forward to a lot of ground and pound from both sides.
Once again, the Bulldogs and the Cardinals tonight. Another classic matchup between the two. Coach Hilton's team might be fighting an uphill battle. They are 3-2. North Andrew, the number 1 rated team in the state, at 5-0. And maybe they don't rebuild in Stanberry, but they certainly are looking to pull an upset here tonight.
Pre-snap penalties, that's something we've been really trying to focus on, because it seems like every time we get a good run, or maybe a penalty against the other team, we come and we false start. That happens with some younger kids, which we have a lot, that are playing pre-snap penalties, and be able to run the ball. They're a big team. We're not, for the first time in several years, we're the smaller side on things, and we're going to have to be able to move the ball on them, so that way, we can throw the ball when we want to, not when we have to.
Good man right there, that Shane Hilton, head coach for Stanberry, very successful head coach, and he'll put a winning game plan together certainly tonight. Looking forward to that one with Anthony Crane providing reports. Also, Worth County, Associate Knox County, and Bishop LeBlond is at Kansas City East Christian in Kansas. Midland Empire Conference play tonight. Maryville's at home against Benton. We'll have Matt Bew providing reports. Savannah, the undefeated Savages, at home against Cameron. Chillicothe is at Lafayette. And St. Pius, after a loss last week to Chillicothe, on the road in non-conference play at St. James Academy in Kansas. Let's turn our attention now to Nebraska. Class B District 2. Plattsmouth has their district opener tonight, and it is against an absolute beast in Gross Catholic. Also, out of that district, Scud Catholic will be hosting Lincoln Pius. That's a non-district game. In C1, District 1, Ashland Greenwood on the road at Fort Calhoun. Boys Towns at Omaha Concordia. Platteview hosting Ron Colley Catholic. In C1, District 2, Nebraska City looks for their first win at Falls City tonight. We will have reports from that one as well. Also, Auburn at home against Lincoln Christian. Tony Jansen, head coach for the Bulldogs. They're 1-0 in the district. Lincoln Christian 1-0 in the district. pretty good matchup there.
They're a really solid team. They've been running that flex bone now for a while, and they have a lot of confidence in that. And on both sides of the ball, they play really, really good team football. They trust one another. Everyone there does their job and does it aggressively. So, you got to kind of counter them in that aspect. When you play them, you've got to play great team football, or they'll take advantage of you. You got to play physical, or their physicality will show. So it should be a really good game Friday.
And let's bring them out again here. Let's bring them out. The keys for Tony Jansen and his Auburn team.
Obviously, you got to be able to establish the run there. And I just think playing physical football against their defense is very, very key, or they're going to take advantage of you with their physicality. So, yeah, being able to establish the run and playing physical football is going to be key for us. So having a good week of prep, and including from our scout team, they understand this flex bone offense. You can't give, as good a look as you're going to get in the game, obviously, where they run it week in, week out. But getting as good a look in practice as we can is key. And any flex bone offense can hurt you, and they do a great job of that. They've got a really good quarterback there who plays very selflessly and makes great reads. So you got one guy that plays out of position, and they can hit you deep at any time.
Once again, Tony Jansen, head coach for the Auburn Bulldogs, at home tonight against Lincoln Christian. We'll have reports from that one here a little bit later on the Connection Show. Let's stay in the district and talk a little Syracuse, Raymond Central. The Rockets continuing their outstanding breakout season. Winless last year, 4-1 this year, 1-0 in the district. A good chance of going 2-0, but a pretty good Raymond Central team that battled tight with Auburn, and a very good Wayne team this year.
Raymond Central's been in a couple of games. They lost in Wayne by a point. They've been in some good games against some good football teams. Having to slow their speed and their guys on the outside, the perimeter is going to be pretty tough for us. But we're gonna prep and be ready to go to stop all the different formations and plays that we're going to see this week.
That, of course, head coach Dave Purdom for Syracuse, who talked a bit about this turnaround, where it's stemmed from.
I've said it before, but our senior class really is our leaders on the field. They've really stepped up our practice regimen, getting after it in that practice scheme, making sure that every rep is important, every rep matters, getting those young guys in there and having some extra guys to put on our scout defense and our scout offense to help prepare our guys. That's been big. Our depth is pretty key for us this year, making sure that we've got several guys that can rep those positions in case we have some injuries or just we're gassed and we need a play or 2 plays to get somebody else in there. We don't really drop off there, so that really helps having those numbers. I guess probably the last thing is just making sure that everybody's on board with all the things that we're doing. When we changed our blocking scheme this year, or we adjusted it a little bit, everybody knows everybody's position, so that when we run a 34 power, we know exactly what the right guard and right tackle are doing. The tight ends know what they're doing. So if they have to be interchanged to go to the other side, they know exactly what that block scheme is. So just really clarifying things and making sure we're all on the same page has been huge for us this year.
Once again, Dave Purdom, head coach there for Syracuse, at home tonight against Raymond Central. We'll have reports from that one too. C2 District 2 tonight, Louisville's at UTAN, David City at Aquinas Catholic, and non-district play for an area district team, Bishop Neumann, which is out of C2-2. They're at home against North Bend Central. In D1 District 1 tonight, as we move to 8-player, Weeping Water is at home tonight against Meade. They're looking to go to 3-0 in the district. Conestoga picked up a victory last week, their first of the year. They're hosting a very good Elmwood Murdoch team. And Trenton Clausen, head coach for Conestoga, talking with KMA Sports about their first dub.
I felt really good for the team. Weeks 1 through 3, we were in the game. We were competing really well. So it was really good to kind of see it come to fruition and be able to leave the field being winners versus being on the other side of that. Kids committed to the game plan offensively and defensively. They continue to be our leaders, and they continue to strive to get better each week. So I think the biggest thing is they didn't quit on themselves. Plays weren't hitting where they needed to be, but we just kept continuing to run them and going back to them, and we were able to be successful and get them in the end zone this week.
And now they turn their attention to trying to slow down the fantastic Cade Hosier and the Elmwood Murdoch offensive attack.
We've played them. This will be the 3rd year. It's kind of been the same starters all 3 years and kind of the same playmakers for them. So we know what they have. We know what to expect. Just putting together a game plan where we can maybe control the game versus, take it over so that we're in the game in the 4th quarter. We know that they're going to get their yards. It's the same every year. They're going to get their yards. They're going to play really good defense. So finding ways to stick with them to that out the entire game and just wait for us to be able to capitalize on something.
Trenton Clausen, again, Conestoga head football coach there in Class D1, District 1. Also tonight, Omaha Christian Academy at Omaha Brownell Talbot. In D1, District 2, Johnson County Central's at Palmyra. Southern's at Freeman. And Exeter Milligan Friend goes to Thayer Central. Nebraska Class D2, District 1. Fall City Sacred Heart looking to bounce back from their loss last week to BDS as they go to Humboldt Table Rock Steiner. And Lord Central Catholic will host Diller Odell in 6-man District 1. Sterling on the road at Dorchester. Pawnee City's at Parkview Christian. And Meridian goes to Lewiston. And in the Metro tonight, Omaha Benson is at Bellevue East this evening. Also,
good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Malvern. Trevor Mater, Tom Moore with you here tonight on the KMA video stream. We've got a fun Class 8-player District 9 matchup coming up here in just a moment between Bedford and East Mills. First, we're here from Bedford head coach Jeremy Nally.
We're talking with Jeremy Nally, head football coach at Bedford. His team is coming off a big win against Exira Elkhorn Kimballton as they roll into a matchup with East Mills this week. Coach, let's go back to that win over Exira Elkhorn Kimballton on Friday night. Going back and looking at it, it was a back-and-forth affair. You guys come out on top at the end. What'd you like that you saw from your guys in that win?
I really like that our kids were resilient. You know, we gave up some big plays, and our cornerbacks had to have short memories. Seemed like every time we kind of got some footing, you know, they had a big play to one of their receivers, and their quarterback was phenomenal and did a good job. But our kids, you know, stayed the course, and then in the end gave themselves a chance to win and finally won one of those tight ones.
Yeah, that was going to kind of be my next question. Was talking about the tight nature of a game. Your first 2 wins to the season were blowouts, and you know you had lost a game by 11 earlier in the year. How proud of you are you as a coach to see your team kind of fight through a little adversity and come out in a close win like that?
I'm super proud of the kids, and as a coach, the kids put in all that work, and it's nice to see it pay off. I feel like we really haven't been in a lot of close games the last couple of years where we've come out on top, and it was nice to finally get one and see some excitement. The boys starting to believe in what they're doing.
There's some of our interview we had with Bedford head coach Jeremy Nally earlier on this week. It is homecoming in Malvern. It is a big 8-player matchup. Trevor Mater, Tom Moore with you here tonight. We've got Kylie Barrett running the video stream for us. Did such a great job last time that we had to bring her back when we came back to Malvern. And Tom Moore, I know you football coaches love talking about the playoffs, and this is a game that when you look at the playoffs, it's going to have major implications on that.
Yeah, this one is. This is going to determine, very possibly determine, which team is third in their district here. Both of them are 1 and 2 right now, and both of them have the same teams to play from here on out. And so this game will decide who that third place in the district probably is.
Yeah, Fremont Mills, Lennox right now look like they're in pretty stern holding of number 1, number 2 in that district. Top 3 in each district automatically qualify. As you mentioned, whoever wins this one's going to be in a very good spot with Stanton, Essex, and East Union up in the final 2 games. Tom, as we get ready for tonight's matchup, what are you keeping an eye on?
Well, I'm going to watch the rushing game of the Bedford Bulldogs, and I'm going to watch that passing game of the East Mills Wolverines. I tell you what, if Bedford can run the ball effectively, they will keep the ball away from Thornburg and Stortenbecker, and that will be a key. But if they can't run the ball effectively, that's going to turn the ball over to the Wolverines a lot more often, and they're going to have more chance in that passing game where that's where they really want to go. Kevin Schaefer runs that offense, and he's always been a throw-first guy.
Yeah, I feel like when you look at these 2 teams, in terms of just pure athleticism in the district, they're probably number 1 and number 2.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. They are, and it's a real close matchup here. Both teams are 3 and 2. They've both lost to the same teams. Yep. And by comparable scores. And so, this matchup really will be one of, it could come down to a turnover here or there.
It'll be Bedford football to start things here tonight. Ryan Stortenbecker will kick it away, and we are ready to get this battle underway here tonight on the KMA video stream. And Stortenbecker, who's been a walking touchback throughout the season, puts one through the end zone there, and Bedford will be in position at their own 15-yard line under the guidance of quarterback Tristan Cummings. Tom, we had a chance to see him earlier this year.
Yeah, and really had a great first half against Lennox. Lennox led that ball game. Then they had a couple things that just kind of went against them. Silas Walston went down with cramps, and they had a 4th down call early in that second half that made it tough for them.
So Bedford in business on the 15, their first play. Tristan Cummings gets about 6 yards out of that. And Tom, as you mentioned in the pregame, Bedford going to try to work that run game. If they can find ways to get 5-6 yards a clip, one, you're keeping the East Mills offense off the field, and two, you're going to limit their possessions as well. I guess kind of in the same there.
Yeah. Nice opening 6-yard run there by Tristan Cummings.
So now second down coming up for Bedford, 2nd and 4 from their own 21. They'll put a man in motion. Silas Walston going left to right, gets some blocks, gets brought out of bounds. Braden Daly was the man out front paving the way for him, but a first down for Walston, who has had a pretty strong season this year. How about 323 yards, 3 touchdowns to his name. And it's a first down for Bedford at the 28-yard line. We're on the opening drive of this game, and of course of the first quarter. Cummings will go out of the shotgun, running back to his left. It's Silas Walston, who I feel like's gotten taller since we saw him in the Lennox game. Cummings wanting to throw. Pressure coming off the edge. Cummings fires one deep, incomplete. And
nice defense there by Jackson. I believe that was Jackson Embry on the play, but we do have a flag thrown right.
I wonder if it wasn't hold.
It could be a hold call or a hold.
We'll have to wait and see. Bedford offense backing up. Yeah, I think it was holding on the right side.
Yeah.
Matt Haley came off the edge, and just the way he contorted his body put the lineman in a tough spot, and it'll back Bedford up. East Mills, I would imagine, will just decline the penalty or accept the penalty and make it 1st and long. And it's 1st and 10 from their own 20. 1st and 20 from their own 28. Shotgun look, empty backfield for Cummings. He'll put a man in motion, and Quentin King gets it on the jet sweep. It's a little bit of a back, but not much, and it's going to set up a 2nd and long coming up for the Bedford offense. And this is a Bedford offense that doesn't want to get in these situations.
Right. Yeah. They like to be ahead of the chains with that running game, and as Woody Hayes said, you can do 3 things on offense or in the passing game, and 2 of them are bad. So we'll see what happens here.
Got about 2 out of that maybe. Second, they're called 18 from the 23. Another shotgun look. 2 receivers to the right for Cummings. And he wants to throw out in the flat. Connor Nally, too tall for him, as that one sails out of bounds. And a 3rd and long coming up now for this Bedford offense. And Tom, we saw him take a shot earlier.
Yeah, that was a quick screen to the wide receiver out here, Connor Nally, and Cummings had to carry out his fake first on the play action, and just didn't get his feet set and overthrew him.
So 3rd and a long ways to go now for this Bedford offense. They're going to call it 3rd and 18 from the 21-yard line.
Not many good plays in your playbook for 3rd and 18.
Shotgun look, 2 receivers to the right. Walston in the backfield with Cummings. Cummings dropping straight back, steps into a throw, goes to King. It's deflected, and King almost came over it. Jump ball, and he hits the ground. Wow, that was quite a battle for the ball. It bounced up first. It bounced off of the Bedford defender. Yep. Jackson Embry got a hand on it.
Went back to King, and then another Wolverine defender jumped in there and almost intercepted it. And then as they both tumbled to the ground with both having possession, it fell incomplete.
It looked like Ryan Stortenbecker was going to come away with the pick maybe out of that. Here's a punt by Tristan Cummings. Not a deep punt. It almost hit an East Mills blocker, and it'll take a Bedford roll out of bounds at the 23-yard line. And now, Tom, we see the East Mills offense come onto the field. They've got, I think, one of the most entertaining quarterbacks in 8-man with Zach Thornburg.
Yeah, a junior, and has had a really good year. I tell you what, he doesn't throw for a great percentage, but he is efficient, and let's see, he has 188 yards per game is what East Mills is averaging through the air. And that's a good year. He's had 840 yards of passing.
So 1st and 10 from the 22. Thornburg, pocket collapsing screen. Ryan Stortenbecker, all sorts of room. And Stortenbecker along the sideline to the 20, to the 10. He is brought down inside the 10. Ball came out into the end zone, and East Mills gets on it.
They're calling him down. The ball popped out when he hit the ground. So, yep. and we've got an injured Bulldog, it looks like, over here on the sideline.
Zach Biggerstaff was a lineman that jumped on it, but they're going to say down at the 4 was Stortenbecker.
That looks like Asher Weed, the defensive back that ran him down.
So from the 22 to the 4 would be 18, and 36 would be 54 if it stands. The officials conversing. Big run by Stortenbecker. Early on of this one has East Mills at the moment inside the 5. And that's where they're at, inside the 5 at the, called about the 4-yard line for East Mills. Early on of this one, Thornburg in the shotgun. They hand it off, Stortenbecker, he gets stood up. Connor Nally and a bunch of other Bulldogs get in there for the tackle. Silas Walston was in there as well, and it's second down. Tom, one thing I noticed last week at East Mills they love to do in this situation is roll Zach Thornburg, being left-handed, roll him out to the left, try to get the tall target, Mason Krause.
Right, and that is, to his left is the short side of the field here. I look for maybe a play action here.
High snap, Thornburg will roll right, wants to keep it, gets out of one tackle, gets to the corner, gets to the end zone, touchdown East Mills. And the big play by Stortenbecker sets up the touchdown for Zach Thornburg. It's his 6th rushing score of the year, and East Mills strikes first.
Yeah, and there's the passing game that showed up, and a nice run there. Bedford defensive front over there couldn't contain Thornburg on that run, and that's something they're going to have to watch for because he is fairly quick and elusive as a runner.
What was it, 45 yards, what it officially came to
for
Stortenbecker?
55.
55-yard run for him sets up the touchdown, and now East Mills will kick it. Stortenbecker, kind of a high snap. Thornburg puts it down anyway, and it's up and through, and East Mills is on the board first. 7-zip they lead here early on in the KMA video stream online at KMAland.com. We're back at 30.
Group, we take a disciplined approach to marketing. We understand that education and experience must be at the forefront of your decision-making process, and we also understand that all farms manage risk differently. This is Tim McGann with the ARC Group. I would like to meet with you, learn about your operation, understand your short and long-term goals, and then together we form a plan to maximize profitability on your farm. Call me at 712-370-3497 or visit us at agrisconsulting.net.
55-yard touchdown pass, or pass, I should say, from Zach Thornburg to Ryan Stortenbecker. Sets up a touchdown run by Zach Thornburg, and East Mills on the board. 7-zip early on, Tom.
Yeah, and play was well designed. I tell you what, they nice play action fake, and boy, the defensive front came, and the linebacker just didn't get Stortenbecker picked up, and boy, he was down the sideline to the races.
And now Bedford will get their second offensive possession of the night after going 3 and out on there. Well, not 3 and out. They got one first down and then punted on their first drive. That punts into the end zone for a touchback. And Ryan Stortenbecker continues to tack on touchbacks this season. And in the 8-player game, to shorten the field like that, that's a weapon to have.
Yeah, it really is. You know, you've got to go 65. Obviously, in the 11-man game, you've got to go 80 if it's a touchdown. But that kickoff is from 10 yards farther back in the 11-man game as well. So
now Bedford in business here. Here's a run for a nice gain by Silas Walston on first down, up past the 20. Gonna mark him. It looks like at about the 27. They'll move the chains for Bedford.
Nice run there on the sweep, jet sweep by Silas Walston. Got the corner turned and got it to the sideline, knocked out of bounds there for the 11-yard gain.
So first down for Bedford on the 27-yard line after the gain by Walston. And they will keep it. Cummings gets stood up. I think it was Davis McGrew who was first there.
Yeah, it was. Davis McGrew, linebacker. He's only 140 pounds, but boy, I tell you what, he stepped right up there and took care of that rush for just about a yard gain there.
So second down coming up now for the Bedford offense. And a handoff up the middle. Quentin King gets a couple of yards.
Stops in number 10, Davis McGrew, and number 25, Broden Ray.
It'll be third down coming up for the Bedford offense. But a 3rd and 10, which is not where they want to be.
Yeah, third and, oh boy. Yeah, 3rd and 9. But no, they prefer to have that be well ahead of the chains.
Pass is caught. Flag comes in. With Shea Purdy making the catch. He'll be short of the sticks. We'll have to see what the penalty marker is.
Yeah, a little quick slip screen there. We'll see what we've got a holding call. I think they're going to move him back.
You like that choice, or would you just make him punt it?
Well, I think you've got a lot of faith in your pass defense. And so right now, I think Coach Claude Lang is saying, "Hey, let's make them go again, and if we can get an incomplete pass here, now they're punting from a lot farther back and into a stiff wind here."
So 3rd and a long way to go coming up for the Bedford offense. It'll be 3rd and they're going to call it 15 from the 20. Shotgun for Cummings, puts Walston out. He'll take a shot to Brayton Daly. It's underthrown and intercepted by Ryan Stortenbecker, who gets brought down at midfield by Daly. That one just hung in the air.
Yeah, the receiver had gotten behind Stortenbecker, but the ball was underthrown. And, boy, I tell you what, nice interception there by Stortenbecker.
So East Mills to a strong start here in homecoming. You know, everybody wants to have a good showing on homecoming, and I know that's a coach's favorite day, isn't it, Tom?
Oh, boy, I tell you what, coaches just love homecoming because of all the non-distractions that take place during that week.
So East Mills near midfield. Thornburg wanted to roll right, had to go over the middle. It's intercepted by Connor Nally. Nally brought down at the 25. And Bedford with the quick turnover the other way. Their number 5 gets it. Nally just stepped in a passing lane.
Yeah, a 15-yard return on that. Ball thrown across the middle. There was pressure in Thornburg's face, and he kind of threw that off his back foot, and Connor Nally just stepped right in there and took that thing.
So we've traded picks here in the last 2 plays here in Malvern. Bedford now in business, the 21-yard line. We've only played 4.5 minutes of football, and we've had a touchdown and 2 turnovers. Cummings will set everybody out. He's got Nally on the right side in kind of a wing position. He'll set him in motion. They like to jet sweep out of this. Instead, they'll lead block Nally. Cummings kept the legs moving, then goes down. He actually lost a little bit on that, it looks like.
East Mills has a 3-man front with 3 linebackers, and it's not one you see a whole lot of. Yeah, loss of 2 on the play there, and boy, I tell you, they are really doing a solid job up there. That front 6 is.
So 2nd and 11 from the 23. And they will feed Walston up the middle. Nice hole for him. He's still on his feet inside the 10 before Mason Krause latches on and brings him down. Silas Walston was carrying that kind of cautiously, just straight downhill. And that's one thing we've noticed with him, Tom. There's not a lot of shenanigans when he gets the football. It's going north and south.
Right. A nice gain of 18 there.
So it'll be 1st and goal from the 5. They give it to Walston, and he is stacked to the backfield. Matt Haley.
Boy, Matt Haley, the sophomore. He was in there like a shot. Nobody got a hand on him at all. It must have been a stunt. Well, it looks like he's playing. Yeah, he's playing the outside linebacker there. No,
he's had a big year defensively. Had a fumble return touchdown earlier on in the year. 3.5 sacks. Defensively, Stortenbecker, McGrew, Krause are the guys that get talked about a lot, but Haley having a really big year. 2nd and 6 now for Bedford. High snap. They give it to Walston. He got a yard or two.
Oh, boy.
Flag comes in. And we'll see if that pushes the Bedford offense back. And it looks like they will. And I kind of forgot they like to throw stuff into the bleachers here in Malvern during stoppages.
I don't know what they're throwing, but
looks like pom-poms.
Oh, yeah.
Little footballs. Penalties on Bedford, by the way. It'll back them up to the 15-yard line. So 2nd and goal for the Bulldogs from the 15. Another high snap. Cummings winds up, throws one left side, well overthrown, trying to go to Connor Nally. And it's 3rd and 15, and Tom, Bedford's got a kicker in Clement Olney. They haven't used him a ton in terms of field goal situations, hasn't used him at all in terms of field goal situations. You're attacking us like you've got 2 plays to get 15 yards, right?
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they really want to kick a field goal here. I don't know. They might try that. It'd probably be about a 32-yarder from here. So, and into a stiff wind. So,
shotgun for Cummings. Again, another little bit of a high snap. Pressure coming off the edge. He will try to make a play with his legs. Gets about 5 back, and then he's brought down. Mason Krause, Jack Gordon in there on the stop, and he's going to set up 4th down from about the 10. For this Bedford offense, as they will have a decision to make.
Yeah, it looks like the offense is staying out there right now.
You like that call?
Well, what the last call? I think
going for it here.
Oh, go for it. Yeah, I think so. I think you've got to have a really sound kicker. I think you've got to have one that's probably had a couple, 3 shots throughout the year. And you're, like I said, you're kicking into a pretty stiff wind right here. So
4th and goal from the 10. Cummings with pressure coming, takes a shot. He has a man wide open, incomplete. Garrison Motzinger had nobody within a good 5 yards of him. That was 6 if it's on the numbers, but instead it's a turnover on downs.
Peyton and Jackson Embry are looking at each other right here because somebody blew a coverage, but ball was overthrown, incomplete, turned it over now, 1st and 10 at the 10.
So the Bedford turnover on downs to the 10 will give it to East Mills. 4:56 left here in the first quarter. Shotgun look, Thornburg running back there, and there were all types of bodies that moved on that front line.
Boy, by the 6th game of the year, you'd think their guys would be the game would go a little cleaner, that they'd have these things worked out, and the holding penalties would be taken care of by this time. But boy, this has been a flag fest so far.
Yeah, we did a game in Missouri this past Saturday, Rockport East Ashton, where I don't think we had a penalty until I think midway through the 2nd quarter, and we're already well past that here tonight.
Right. Yeah. I think it was. I think it was 3rd quarter, maybe late 3rd quarter, early 4th quarter when a athlete took his helmet off.
Underwood's up 13-0 on Trainer early on. If you're watching at home on the KMA video stream, you can see the scores scrolling across the ticker. Thornburg scrambling left, has all sorts of grass in front of him, gets out of bounds, pushed out by Garrison Motzinger. But again, we're seeing the athleticism of Zach Thornburg turn into a big gain for East Mills. They're going to spot at the 27, so that is a 22-yard gain.
I tell you, Silas Walston just about had him right at the goal line, and he avoided that tackle, and then it was up the sideline. For 22.
Conference champion sprinter, got a lot of speed. This is an East Mills offense that has a lot of speed and athleticism across. Thornburg in the shotgun, Stortenbecker on his right hip. They'll option Stortenbecker. Gets an outside block from Davis McGrew, and Stortenbecker lowers the shoulder before going out of bounds. But a nice gain by him. And we won't see a lot of rushing from East Mills, but when they do, they like to work that option and get Stortenbecker to the outside.
Yeah, Ashton Weed over there on the tackle, along with Garrison Motzinger.
So it makes it 2nd and 1 coming up for East Mills. Very favorable spot for the offense with 4:41 left here in the first quarter, and they lead 7-0. They're on the 37-yard line. Thornburg wanted to throw. Instead, he'll keep it. He at least dropped back like he wanted to throw and gets close to the 1st down. We'll see where they spot. I think he got it.
I think he's got it from the spot where it looks right here.
Connor Nally.
Yep, they're moving them chains.
Connor Nally got the tackle, but it's a first down for Zach Thornburg. We'll get a fresh set of downs. Peyton Embry will bring the play in from the sideline. 4.5 to go here in the first quarter. Now they'll put Stortenbecker on the left side of Thornburg out of the shotgun. 2 to the left. Thornburg is intercepted by Garrison Motzinger, who was all over McGrew. Motzinger's got blockers, gets to the 30, breaks out of a tackle, and then is stumbled at the 22. But Garrison Motzinger with the pick.
30-yard return there for Motzinger on that interception. Well-thrown ball, but Motzinger just did a nice job of cutting that off, getting in front, and getting the interception.
Yeah, he basically ran the route for McGrew. And then when the throw was there, Motzinger, he might as well have been the receiver on that, able to snag it. And that's the third turnover of this first quarter. 1st and 10 from the 20. Give it to Quentin King. He breaks out of one tackle, then gets swarmed, still on his feet for a moment, and then spun down at the 20. So not really any gain there after the interception by Garrison Motzinger, who's somebody that has started to see more and more time in the lineup for Bedford throughout the season. They will give him 1 yard on the run by King to make it 2nd and 9 from the 20. 3:45 to go here in the first quarter. 7-zip in favor of East Mills. Shotgun look, empty backfield for Cummings. Now they'll put Nally in motion. Pistol look for Bedford, and they give it to Nally. Nally into the pile. Didn't go down right away. It's a couple
kept the legs churning. Didn't get a whole lot of yards, but really did a nice job of hitting the hole. And the Wolverines just did a nice job up front there. Clayton Stortenbecker, who's their leading tackler on the year from his middle linebacker position, in there on that stop.
So 3rd and 7 now coming up for Bedford from the 17-yard line. 3 minutes left here in the quarter. The Bulldogs trying to take advantage of the turnover moments ago. Cummings in the shotgun. Drops straight back. Goes to Motzinger, who is going to haul it in inside the 5 to the 2. And again, the sophomore Garrison Motzinger seeing some quality time and making it work early on as the Bulldogs inside the 5.
Nice gain of 17 there on the deep out route by Motzinger. He was well covered. Nice tackle once the catch was made, but he'd run a great route and a nice throw there.
1st and goal from the 2. Cummings will put Walston in motion. He gives it to Walston, and Walston untouched into the end zone. Touchdown, Bedford. They take advantage of the interception, and Walston finds the end zone for the, what would be the 4th rushing touchdown for him of the year, 7th total time he's scored. And Bedford, they've got a kicker of their own in Clement Olney they can put out there if they so wish. And they will do so. So Clement Olney will kick. Tristan Cummings will hold. And the kick is blocked. Stortenbecker and Rouse were there. There is a penalty marker down. We'll wait for the official word.
He must have hit the center. Yeah, the centers are protected nowadays.
They call it leaping in the college and the professional game. It's something you don't see a ton of.
Now I believe they're going to go for 2 here because they've got just a yard and a half to go.
So now Bedford going to go for 2 after the penalty by East Mills wipes off the blocked PAT. Cummings will put Walston in motion. They give it to Walston. He is trying to keep the legs moving. 2nd, 3rd effort, didn't get it.
Didn't get there.
Came close, but pushed out of bounds, and East Mills holds on to the lead. 7-6, 2:45 left in the first. We're back in 30 on the KMA video stream.
Believing. That's what you'll hear from customers that choose Barrett Auto Center of Glenwood time and time again. Barrett customers come in for vehicles and service work, but they come back for conversation and honest advice. They want one of the largest pre-owned and fully serviced inventories in KMA land, and they return when they've gone elsewhere and it just isn't the same. See and believe for yourself how little differences add up to a better car buying experience. Come back to Barrett's and Barrett'sAutoCenter.com.
2:45 left here in the first quarter. Trevor Mater, Tom Moore with you here tonight on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. It is 7-6. East Mills leading Bedford, but Tom, right now we've seen Bedford be able to turn the ball over a little bit on East Mills.
Yeah, really a sloppy first quarter here. 3 turnovers, 2 for East Mills, 1 for Bedford, all interceptions, and then numerous penalties here in the ball game so far.
So now Bedford will kick it away with Clement Olney, and that kick barely ever got off the ground. Embry fields it to the 25 before being brought down. And when I say Embry, I mean Jackson Embry. And East Mills, they've got playmakers back there. Davis McGrew took a touchdown, took a kickoff back to the house last week in a win or loss to Fremont Mills. So I think that's something we might see a lot of throughout the night. Just East Mills now in business on their 25-yard line with 2:40 left here in the first quarter. Thornburg out of the shotgun. Will throw, rolling left, overthrew McGrew. Ran a nice route to get open, but
yeah, he was open there, but Thornburg just overthrew him on the run to his left.
So second down and 10 coming up for the East Mills offense from the 25-yard line. Zach Thornburg, the quarterback, so far this year has thrown 13 touchdowns. He'll be in the shotgun. 2 receivers to his left. They want to option Stortenbecker left side. Can't break out of a strong tackle after a gain of about 4, and that was Clay Savage from his defensive back position that came up to get the stop, and we've got a player down on the East Mills sideline. And that's not Stortenbecker, is it?
I think it is. Yeah, he was kind of folded in on the tackle. Yeah. Nose came to the knees, and he's got to sit out for a play at least.
Yeah, I think he wanted to stay in, but of course when they stop it, got to check out. He's a very good wrestler for East Mills, very tough, scrappy kid. I'd imagine he's going to want to be back in there as soon as he can, but he'll have to be attended to right now on the East Mills sideline. 3rd and 5 coming up for the East Mills offense with 2:15 left here in the first quarter. Thornburg in the shotgun, empty backfield, 2 receivers on the left side. Pocket collapsing. This is when Thornburg does some of his best work, but he'll just cut bait and throw it away. And a defensive stand for Bedford is going to prompt an East Mills punt. At least we would assume. On 4th down, as Thornburg comes to the sideline and it's a coaching moment from co-head coach Kevin Schaefer. East Mills will punt it away. Jack Gordon, typically their punter.
Stortenbecker, Mr. Everything, is the center on this.
2 minutes left here in the first quarter. Low punt by Gordon, tracked by Asher Weed, and he will back away from it. East Mills down to, looks like, the 11-yard line.
Gordon with a little bit of a rugby style there. Nice kick. Got a little bit of a roll and put the Bulldogs behind, down in the deep in their own territory.
Starting to see more and more of that trickle down to the high school game. Of course, it became popular in the college game when you brought over Australian punters. I think Brad Wing of LSU is the first one that comes to mind for me, and now we're seeing it be perfected more at the high school level. It looks cool, at least, I think.
Yes, and I think the early key to that was learning how to block it.
All right, that's more punt talk than I would like here tonight. Shotgun look for Cummings. Wants to throw. Matt Haley coming off the edge. Cummings breaks out of the tackle for a moment, only to be eventually spun down by Silas Allen.
Silas Allen had a hold of the jersey and did a little windmill there with Tristan Cummings to get him down at the 10-yard line for a 4-yard loss.
And that was all predicated by Matt Haley getting pressure, forcing Cummings to step up, and then Silas Allen got one of those strong hands on him and spun him down. 2nd and 15, under 90 seconds left here in the first quarter. Shotgun look. Cummings will keep it. The hole closes up pretty quickly. He'll get brought down. Ryan Stortenbecker in there among those on the stop. Mason Krause as well. We're down to a minute left here in the first, and it's 3rd and long. Coming up for the Bedford offense. So 3rd down and 10 from the 15 is what they'll call it. Red Oak has an early lead on Greene County, or at least they did earlier. Glenwood up on Winterset as well. Hand it off. Walston again trying to get to the edge. Gets a little bit of it back, and then Peyton Embry stands him up and drives him out of bounds with 34 seconds left in the quarter. And another defensive stand will prompt a Bedford punt.
Yeah, I know he wasn't thinking about it, but boy, if he could have stayed in bounds there, he could have either forced a timeout or the ability to run the clock out and kick with the wind.
Low snap on the punt. Cummings got it away. Stortenbecker fields it on a hop at the 40. Stiff arms a man into the ground and then lowers his shoulder. And a penalty marker comes in late. That was one of the most aggressive stiff arms I've seen at the high school level.
Penalty flag on the play.
And now we'll see.
Holding. Black in the back.
And it's going to be a block in the back on East Mills that'll back him up. And another penalty here in the first quarter. So Wolverines offense will come out.
Trevor, we have a lot of football games where we don't have 10 possessions in almost 3 quarters, and we've got 10 here in the first quarter.
I think
so
Southwest
far.
Valley Earlham tonight, which is on the KMA video stream, 10 possessions might be high for what they'll see
for
tonight.
the game. Yeah.
Thornburg will keep it. High snap. He bobbled it for a moment. Goes to the left side before being pushed out of bounds. East Mills had the big pass from Thornburg to Stortenbecker early that set up the Thornburg touchdown. Then they had a couple of interceptions and a punt. Bedford is punted twice. They've turned it over on downs once. And an interception once, and they scored once. 2nd and 8 coming up for East Mills from the 37-yard line. Out of the shotgun, Thornburg steps into his throw. Too high for Mason Krause. It's a route they ran a lot last week against Fremont Mills, trying to get Mason Krause, who's got a tall frame, over the middle.
Yeah,
it was there, just a
quick slant there, just a little bit high.
Greene County now up 13-3 on Red Oak at the moment. 15 seconds left here in the second quarter. Might be time for 3 more plays the way these two offenses have moved so far here tonight. 3rd and 8. Empty backfield. Thornburg wanted to go to Krause, and it's deflected by Quentin King, who was in Thornburg's face. And it's another punt coming up for East Mills. Will make it 4th and 8.
I've got to say, boy, this wasn't the expectation I had of these two offenses coming into the game. Both, I think, are struggling just a little bit.
Still 36 minutes left to buck that trend, though, as Jack Gordon will punt it away for East Mills. And that punt fielded on the run, and wishing he didn't do that was Asher Weed. He bobbled it for a moment, and Ryan Stortenbecker says hello.
Yeah, right in the middle of the bobble. Boy, I tell you, that was lucky that ball didn't come loose there, because it was in the air. Maybe Stortenbecker hit him at the right time to just press it into his own grip.
So Bedford will get 1 play to end the first quarter.
The 18-yard line, 1st and 10, Bulldogs.
From their own 18. Again, 2 seconds left in this quarter. 7-6 a trail. And Cummings will throw. Takes a shot. He's got Purdy. Hauls it in. And they're past midfield to the 37, and that's how the quarter will end. So go from the 18, which will be 22 and 3, 25-yard gain to end the frame for the Bedford offense. But they trail 7-6. We go to the second here on the KMA video stream online at KMAland.com.
For over 25 years, Chat Mobility has provided you the latest technology, competitive prices, and a nationwide high-speed network. Though important, we're a whole lot more. We serve your hometown communities, sponsor your local chambers and events. It's our goal to work hard while giving back to those who graciously support us. At Chat Mobility, our interests are much deeper than providing great service. We're just committed to serving you. To learn more, see us at chatmobility.com today.
2 and 4, 26.
Berry, best in convenience, it's Cubby's. Stop in today for hot and fresh food, plus that local spirit that you'll always find at Cubby's. And when it comes to pizza at Cubby's, with every large pizza sold, Cubby's gives $1 to the local school district with the Raise Some Dough program. In fact, Cubby's contributed $29,855 in 2021 to local schools for educational and athletic purposes. Just another reason to stop, shop, and eat at Cubby's. For the Cubby's near you, go to Cubby's.com.
To the second here in Malvern. Trevor Mater, Tom Moore with you here tonight. 7-6 our scores. We go to the second frame. And Tom Moore, we saw both teams offensively hit a couple of big plays. Both teams make some mistakes offensively as well.
Yeah, 3 turnovers in this football game and a lot of penalty flags. The defenses, I think, are really playing well. The offenses are struggling. I think the biggest amount of struggle is taking place up front. And Bedford not being able to get their running game going, and Thornburg 2 interceptions and only 1 completion. And Bedford has actually thrown the ball more than East Mills has tonight so far.
Yeah, that's not a stat that I would have expected to see going into the second quarter. Bedford now in business at the East Mills 36-yard line. They got a deep pistol. I don't know that I've seen one that deep. Now put a man back there with him as well. A little bit of a high snap, some spinner back out of that, and Tristan Cummings, nothing there. Not something you see a ton of in the 8-man game.
Yeah, the snap by the center there is what blew that play up. Cummings lost one on it, but had to really go high just to keep that thing from going over his head for a big loss.
So he did lose a couple, make it 2nd and 11 coming up for the Bedford offense. Early stages of the second quarter. They'll put Walston in motion. They give it to Walston. Walston tries to get back upfield. Ball came out late. And there's a scrum for it. And it looks like Bedford got back on it.
Looks like number 52 jumped on that thing.
Yeah, they were able, I believe that's Brody King was able to jump back on it.
And boy, I tell you what, gain of 2 there for Walston. And that's been their favorite play, that sweep out of the double wing. They bring him in. They bring either start him in motion or start him right at the snap, and that sweep right. That's been their best running play of the night, but it's also been stopped a couple, 3 times.
3rd and 9 from the 35 coming up for the Bedford offense. And again, this feels like a 2 downs to get 9 yards. Cummings puts King in motion. Cummings wants to throw, heaves one downfield. About 3 bodies were there for it. Asher Weed, the lone Bedford receiver, and it's knocked down. Davis McGrew was there. That was, did you ever play the game 500 when you were a kid, Tom?
Oh, yeah, you bet.
That was one of those throws.
You bet. Put it up and see who will go up and get it. And that was lucky just not to be intercepted as well. And Cummings was hit when just as he threw that ball. That might have been a little bit of a factor in it as well.
So 4th and 9, and Bedford going to punt it away with Cummings. No, fake punt. Cummings to Nally. It's intercepted. Picked off on the sideline. Davis McGrew cuts it back to the left side. Breaks out of another tackle. Ball comes out. He gets on it.
Boy, I tell you what, you talk about a comedy there. Boy, he was dancing and we had the interception and then dancing and running around back to the left and then just fumbled the ball and had to drop on it for 5 yards back from where he was. That may
happened
make
there.
your not so great highlights reel.
A lot happened there. 1st and 10 now for East Mills from the 29. They'll put McGrew in motion. Thornburg will keep it. He's got some real estate. He stumbles a little bit before falling down for a gain of a couple. To the 33-yard line is where they'll mark it. So gain of 4. We've had 4 turnovers so far here in this one. 2 interceptions on both sides. Bedford's last one came out of a fake punt. Thornburg will go in the shotgun. Stortenbecker to his left. Thornburg keeps it.
Connor Nally stuffed that play. Did a nice job from his linebacker position. Just stepped right in there and stuffed that looks like it's right at the line of scrimmage. No gain.
Yeah, Quentin King got a hand on the jersey early in that one, and I'm sure that slowed Thornburg down some, and Connor Nally there to clean things up. Makes it 3rd and 6 for the East Mills offense as they will bring in a play from the sideline with Peyton Embry. And Thornburg, again, will go out of the shotgun. I'd say probably 98% of what East Mills wants to do is out of a shotgun or a pistol. Thornburg steps up into a throw. Kraus is wide open. He's got it at the 20, to the 10, and brought down inside the 10 from behind by Asher Weed. But Mason Kraus got behind the defense, and it's a big gain from the 33 all the way down to the 7-yard line.
Gain of 40 there.
And East Mills offense in business. The Thornburg to Kraus combo connects again.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, somebody once again in that defensive backfield blew coverage because he was 5 yards, maybe even more beyond that first defender.
So 1st and goal for East Mills from the 6-yard line. 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. It's Kraus. Thornburg will run it up the middle. Got a yard or 2 out of that. Gets twisted a little awkwardly. Connor Nally, who's a name we've said a lot defensively tonight, with the tackle. Not really any gain there for Thornburg. Underwood now up 27-0 on Trainer, by the way. Nick Stavis, John Tarks with the call of that one tonight. 2nd and goal for East Mills. 2 receivers to the left. Now they'll flank Stortenbecker out. Snap was errant. On the run, Thornburg throws it away. If Stortenbecker would have stayed where he was, that snap wouldn't have actually been as errant as it was. Of course, that's not the way they drew it up.
Right, yeah. Thornburg just doing a nice job of not having to take the loss there on that play.
Sets up 3rd and goal now from the 5 for East Mills. So 3rd down, 8:22 left here in the half. The Wolverines up 7-6. Thornburg in the shotgun. He'll put McGrew in a little motion. Thornburg throws left side and almost intercepted. And it was. And guess who? Garrison Motzinger comes up with another one. That was a wobbler. And Motzinger gets his 2nd pick of the night. That is the 5th turnover we've had.
Yeah, I think that was an RPI there where Thornburg was to run the read option fake there and take a look, and if the linebacker did something, he was then to pull and either throw it or to run with the ball. He started out to run and then flipped it out there. Didn't make a good decision there and got his 3rd interception of the night.
So East Mills comes up empty on the drive inside the Bedford red zone. Bedford will get it now on their own 7. Walston turns forward as he lost it. I think he got it back. He did. That was almost another turnover. But Walston got to it and gets it to the 10. Will make it 2nd and 7 for this Bedford offense here in the early part of the 2nd quarter. Cummings in an empty backfield out of the shotgun. Puts Walston in motion. Cummings keeps it. Goes up the middle to about the 13-yard line before being brought down.
Yeah, they faked that sweep play to Walston there. Cummings just pulled and then took it up off the left tackle there for the give him a 3-yard gain and make it 3rd down and 4.
So 3rd down coming up.
3rd and about 4.
For the Bedford offense. They'll break the huddle. Cummings in the shotgun. 2 receivers to the right. They'll put one in motion. That's Quentin King going right to left, and they'll give it to King on the jet sweep. Reverses field back towards the middle. Fights
he's close
to the first down. I think he's going to be about a yard short.
I think so, yeah. He went down and then slid forward. It looked like he maybe had it, but he's short by about a yard.
Now, if you're a riverboat gambler in this situation, you would maybe take your chances on a 4th and short from the 15, but I think Bedford's going to punt it away. The way the defense is playing right now.
I would think they would here. You know, you can be a riverboat gambler, but sometimes you get seasick, so you're going to need to be careful.
4th and we're going to call it 1 from the 16. Bedford taking their time.
I think he's running it down and going to take a timeout here.
And that's what they'll do. So Coach Nally on the Bedford side takes a timeout. We'll take a quick 30 with them here on the KMA video stream online at KMAland.com.
For unlimited super fast internet you can always rely on, look no further than FMTC's fiber internet. With so much relying on your internet these days, you need a connection you can trust. You can work from home, video chat, stream your favorite TV shows, and more without worrying about the stability of your internet. You could have what everyone else wishes they had.
Your connection to the world, FMTC.
Welcome back to Malvern on the KMA video stream online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Tom Moore with you here tonight. Class A player, District 9 action. 7-6, East Mills leading Bedford. 6:04 left here in the first half. Tom, we thought this might be a high-scoring affair. So far, the defense has been what's coming through.
Yeah, it really has been, and both teams playing really pretty good defense. Now we've got Stortenbecker going back to receive the punt here.
So the punt will come from Tristan Cummings. High snap, almost blocked by Matt Haley. A nice pump by Cummings will warrant a Stortenbecker fair catch of the 30. Tom, I know you love good punts.
That was a nice high punt.
That was a nice one.
You bet. And boy, I tell you what, on a dark night, sometimes those can be hard to field when they get up there above the lights. It seems like they're above the lights. They probably don't get there, but that's a tough catch. That's one of the toughest things to do in football is to catch that punt.
Yeah. Definitely when you've got dudes running at you as well. So East Mills will start this drive on their own 30. Fresh set of downs for them. 2 receivers to the right. Thornburg in the shotgun. Scrambling. Throws over the middle to Embry, and it's incomplete. There was nothing there. Credit to the Bedford coverage. Asher Weed was all over Mason Krause.
Yeah. They were doing a great job there. Everybody had everybody covered, and Thornburg had to run around, scramble around, find a place to set his feet and throw, and then made a tough throw to a covered receiver.
Sets up 2nd and 10 coming up now for the East Mills offense from the 30-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. Stortenbecker in the shotgun with Thornburg. Thornburg wants to drop straight back. Screen. Stortenbecker catches it. Has blockers. Has the first down. Still on his feet to the 20. Inside the 15 before being brought down. And Ryan Stortenbecker with the big gain. Again, puts East Mills into the red zone. 10 and probably about 26 will be about 36. Will be where they spot it. Plus there's going to be a face mask penalty tacked onto it.
Right. Yeah, I thought there was probably a face mask over there because we could see his head dip down. And so we've got 9 yards, and we're at the
37 is a gain.
At the 13, so that's 27 and 9.
36.
36, and then the half the distance to the goal from there.
So East Mills with it now inside the 10 at the 6-yard line. With 5:40 left here in the first half. Another chunk play puts East Mills in business. Thornburg will put McCrew in motion out of the shotgun. Pressure coming. Thornburg will make a play with his legs. Thornburg is into the end zone. Touchdown, East Mills. Second score of the night for him on the ground. And East Mills, they've got to the red zone by air, into the end zone by ground, and it's 13-6.
And Thornburg's only had 3 completions on the night.
They've all been big ones.
But they're for 55, 40, and 36 for 131 total yards.
So East Mills will now kick the P18 with Ryan Stortenbecker. Kind of a low snap. Thornburg got it down, and the kick is up and through. And East Mills is up 14-6. We've got 5:31 left here in the first half on the KMA video stream at KMAland.com. Zach Thornburg, his second rushing touchdown of the night, has grown the East Mills lead to 14-6 with 5:31 left here in the first half. Tom Moore, we've seen the big passing plays for East Mills have set up the rushing plays that have resulted in touchdowns.
Yeah, it really has, and even though we've had a sloppy first half, boy, those big plays can really set the tone for the game here, and they have. This is an unusual game for Stortenbecker because he's only 3 of 10. He's only throwing 30%, but those are 3 big ones.
So now Stortenbecker will kick it away. Silas Walston among the returners for Bedford, but it won't matter because Stortenbecker powers into the end zone for a touchback. Southwest Valley has scored first on Earlham tonight. They're midway through the second quarter. 7-zip Timberwolves in that one. Green County leading Red Oak 13-10, and actually, as I say that, Southwest Valley's gone to halftime. Riverside up big on Missouri Valley. Underwood up big on Trainer. Stanton Essex up big on Murray right now. ADM is up 20-0 on Creston in a state-rated battle. 1st and 10 for Bedford from the 15. Cummings wants to throw downfield to Walston, and Embry interfered with that one.
Now, we got Hankies out on the field again.
Yeah, Embry, I think, might have realized he was going to get beat for a big play. And
yeah, that's not always a bad thing for your defensive backs to understand that if they think they're going to get beat, the penalty might be the better option.
Definitely, at the high school game where it's not a spot foul. Of course, on Sundays, if that happens, the ball is going to where the penalty is.
Right.
But instead, it's a 15-yard penalty. It'll make it 1st and 10 for Bedford from the 30. 5:26 to go here in the first half. Cummings puts Walston in motion. Again, he'll throw, and he overthrew Shea Purdy. Nice play design, but not there. The pass is incomplete.
Yeah, trying to get that crossing route coming from the far right side, clear over to the left side, and trying to get Purdy to run away from his defender. And he did have a step on him, but the ball was well overthrown.
So 2nd down now for the Bedford offense. So Bulldogs still down just 1 score. We'll come out with 2nd and 10. And a whistle will stop that play and likely back Bedford up 5 yards.
Yeah, illegal procedure on Bedford. Going to be a 2nd down and 15 now.
Tom, those are the plays the coach. They'll drive you nuts, won't they?
Oh, they sure do. They sure do because they didn't even go on the second count there. That was on the first count, so somebody just got anxious.
So 2nd 10 becomes 2nd 15. now for the Bedford offense.
Yeah, 2nd and 15.
So on 2nd down, Cummings will go out of the shotgun, empty backfield. Scrambling, Cummings throws it away. Probably not a bad idea there.
He had Walston early, but the pressure up front, just got to him, and he didn't have time to be able to get that away.
So 3rd and 15. How aggressive are you here if you're Bedford, Tom?
Well, I think you're down to 5 minutes here. I think you're trying to pick this up. I think you've got to make sure that you can get the ball to the at least to the 35 to give you a chance. But I wouldn't be surprised to see a screen pass here.
So on 3rd down, they will just run it forward. Cummings gets about 3 out of that. But another Bedford punt is on the way. Stortenbecker, Kraus, Ray among those in there on the stop. For East Mills, under 5 left here in the half, and Bedford going to punt it again. If you're watching at home, looks like now we've got the scoreboard ticker back working. That's
we got another flag.
An issue all year on our end. Penalty marker on the field will maybe back it up 5 more yards for Bedford on the punt, or move it up 5. Nope, it'll back it up 5. So it becomes 4th and 17.
Remains 4th down.
So 4th and 17 from the 28. Tristan Cummings will punt. Stortenbecker back to return. Not a deep punt, but a high punt. And it almost hit an East Mills blocker. Bedford will down it, though, at the 36-yard line. Peyton Embry almost put himself in a really bad spot.
36-yard line, 1st and 10, Wolverines.
But he got away from it, and East Mills, with 4:28 to go in the half, gets a ball to start the 2nd as well. This is a big drive for the Wolverines.
Yeah, this could really make a change in this football game if they can score here in these last 4:28. That the way the Bedford offense has been sputtering, they could very well get a really good head up on this football game.
Thornburg over the middle has his man. It's Kraus to the 30, inside the 30, brought down near the 25. Asher Weed with the stop at the 26, so it's a gain of 18 from Thornburg to Kraus. And a fresh set of downs for East Mills. So we mentioned in the open, the winner of this game will put themselves in a very good spot in terms of postseason qualification. First down for East Mills. Thornburg rolling right on the snap. The lefty keeps his eyes downfield. Now he'll make a play with his legs. Gets out of bounds. The 17-yard line. And Tom, when you're, as a coach and as a defender, when you're preparing for a left-handed quarterback versus a right-handed quarterback, maybe this is a silly question, but are there any differences, any challenges it presents?
Well, I think so. Because, just the fact that your team is used to quarterbacks being right-handed, you've got to think of what he wants to do, and that's once. Now we've got a 5-yard penalty
it looks
again.
Like Quentin King moved on the left side of the front line for Bedford. Obviously it changes the way your offense works, because a lot of times when maybe you would make the right side the strong side and roll out to the right, you're doing the left with your quarterback, plus your right tackle becomes that blind side spot instead of the
left tackle. So some coaches would flip their defensive ends so that they have their best guy going against the offense's best guy there at tackle on the blind side. And
Thornburg rolls left, keeps it, gets pushed out of bounds by Motzinger after a nice gain.
Thornburg off the left side.
Be a little bit short of a first down, it looks like.
He's on the play, second down
inside the 5. Or to the 6, just outside of the 5 will be 2nd and 4. The lines are not the easiest to see here in Malvern tonight. Handoff, Stortenbecker trying to get to the outside, gets brought down from behind by a pack of Bulldogs. I think Graham Godsey was the first one there.
Yeah, nice job there of taking that read option play where they just run him off tackle, and 3 Bulldogs there to stop him for no gain.
So 3rd and 4 coming up for East Mills from the 6-yard line. 3.5 left here in the half. Zach Thornburg in the quarterback position with Stortenbecker in the shotgun with him. Thornburg's got 2 rushing scores tonight. Up the middle, trying to make it a 3rd, and he will! Touchdown, East Mills! So Thornburg with the score. Again, they move the ball with the passing, find the end zone with the running, and it's a 2-score advantage for East Mills with 3:12 left here in the half. 20-6 our score now.
Point after a hit by Ryan Stortenbecker.
For the 6-yard run by Thornburg. As Stortenbecker will come on for the PAT. And the PAT by Stortenbecker is up and good. And Ryan Stortenbecker powers that one through. It is 21-6. East Mills on top. We're back in 30 on KMA Video Stream.
Community College has important news for you. If you're a high school senior trying to figure out what your next step in life will be after high school, consider this. Students learning trade-specific skills will get you into the workplace quicker, making a good living and having a lot less college debt. Iowa Western offers 1- to 2-year programs in nursing, welding, industrial tech, and advanced manufacturing, plus many others. Great skills and great pay in less time. Talk to Iowa Western Community College in Clarinda and Shenandoah and start planning your future now.
Welcome back to Malvern on the KMA Video Stream online, KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Tom Moore with you tonight. We've got Kylie Barrett helping with the video stream side of things. And just moments ago, Zach Thornburg found the end zone for the 3rd time tonight, doing so from 6 yards out to make it a 21-6 East Mills advantage. So now they'll have Ryan Stortenbecker kick it away. Bedford will have Silas Walston and Asher Weed back to return. Stortenbecker has powered nothing but touchbacks so far tonight. This one will be one as well. Takes a hop into the end zone.
Low line drive. Instead of hitting his wedge there, he hit his 3-iron and put it through the end zone.
If that was my wedge or 3-iron or whatever, I think it'd be in that field over there behind the Bedford bleachers, if I can get it that far to begin with.
Yeah, well, a lot of guys hit a different club into the wind, and that's what he did right there. He took the elevation out of the ball and skipped it in from about the 7-yard line.
Don't tell my neighbor, but I think a few of my practice balls are still on his roof. 1st and 10 coming up for Bedford from their own 15-yard line.
Bedford needs to, they've got 3:12. They need to get something going here.
Nally in at quarterback now. Hands it off to King on a jet sweep. And King didn't really get anything there. And Connor Nally right now at the QB1 spot. At least for that play. Skerritz and Motzinger will bring in the play from the sideline. 2:45 left here in the half. Nally will go on in the shotgun. Puts a man in motion. They fake the jet sweep. Motzinger, ball's on the ground. Nally gets it back, has some room, and Nally with the 1st down and more. Trying to break out of the McGrew tackle. McGrew slows him down. Embry there as well, but it's a big gain to the 30. There's a penalty marker down that might wipe out what would be a 25 plus 10 would be a 35-yard run. That might be coming back. The Bedford offense walking back as if that's the case.
Block in the back.
And it's a block in the back that's going to wipe out the big run. So Bedford goes from having the ball at the East Mills 30 with a fresh set of downs to what's going to be a second and very, very long from about the 9-yard line. So make it 2nd and 16.
Ball on about the 9-yard line.
Coming up for the Bulldogs. 2:20 left here in the half. Again, East Mills will get the ball to start the second half. I think if you're Bedford, maybe you're just trying to chew as much time as possible to avoid giving East Mills the ball back with much left or make him take timeouts. So put a man in motion, fake the jet sweep. King. Nally now will make a play with his legs. Gets twisted down by Stortenbecker near the 20. Looks like the 19 will be where they spot it, but a nice gain by him to get some of that back after the penalty. He'll set up 3rd and mid-range coming up for the Bedford offense. Under 2 minutes left here in the half. They're going to spot the 20-yard line.
Yeah, wanted to throw the ball, but didn't see a receiver, pulled it down, and made a nice play with his legs.
So 3rd and 5 from the 20. And East Mills, the clock never ran. So Nally steps into a throw, has the first down, Shane Purdy. Nally did a good job of stepping into that, and Purdy
did a nice job of moving in the pocket, moved up, kept his eyes downfield, saw Purdy, and just flipped it out there to him for the, what did he get there? He got
8.
8. Yep, got 8 on the play.
And most importantly, a first down for Bedford. 1:45 and rolling left here in the first half. Bulldogs needing a score to cut this back down to a 1-score game. Shotgun look. Nally with Walston back there. Nally wants to throw to Weed, and he couldn't haul it in. Weed did a good job of getting under that.
Yeah.
It looked like that was going to be overthrown by quite a bit.
Yeah, Weed had kind of moved to the inside with his left with his break, and then the ball was thrown to the outside, and he adjusted and almost got to that.
So 2nd and 10. Now coming up for the Bedford offense, 1:26 left in the half, and they'll go 2 receivers on the left side, 1 on the right side. Nally out of a shotgun. Again, wants to throw. Going to decide to run is the best way to go. Makes a couple defenders miss, and then Mason Krause stops him short of the first down.
Just short.
Be a 3rd and about 1 coming up for Bedford from the called the 37-yard line. A minute to go in the half. Bedford still got 2 timeouts they can use.
Connor Nally at the quarterback position,
he's
sparking these Bulldogs a little bit, taking charge there with his legs, and really getting something going.
Under a minute left here in the half. Nally breaks out of a tackle, has the first down before being brought down. Broden Ray looked to have him about 3 yards deep in the backfield, but Nally jukes out of it, has the first down into East Mills territory, the 38-yard line. So a gain of 5 will move the chains and stop the clock while the chains move. Clock continues to roll now, 35 left in the half. Bedford quick to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun look, 2 receivers on the left side. Nally wanting to throw, steps up, and is going to be sacked. Jack Gordon was there. That's going to prompt a Bedford timeout. Ryan Stortenbecker got home as well. So Bedford takes their 2nd timeout of the half. Tom Moore, 23 seconds left here. You've still got a timeout. How are you attacking this?
Well, you're 2nd down here, so you're going to run all 4 of your downs from this spot. If you don't get it on this 2nd or 3rd down. So, but I think you're looking for something to the outside, so that you can get a completion and get out of bounds beyond the first down. You're looking for about a 10 to 12-yard out. And then what I would do is on that 3rd down, I'd probably have at least 3 receivers running go routes so that this 2 deep secondary has to cover 3 receivers deep.
So 2nd and 11 coming up for Bedford out of his timeout. Some other scores from around the area tonight. ADM up 28-0 on Creston. Underwood is up 40-0 on Trainer at halftime. Southwest Valley up 7-0 on Earlham at halftime. Fremont Mills is up big on East Union at the moment. Glenwood's up 20-0 on Winterset. That's a big one in Class 4A. But coming out of timeout, we've got 2nd and 11. And it's going to be 2nd down and
we've got
be determined to have a penalty. Is that going to be on East Mills?
Defensive lineman lined up in the neutral zone. Encroachment penalty, 5 yards. So now we're at 2nd and 6.
From the East Mills 35. Nally will put Walston on the left side out of the shotgun. Now he flanks Walston out. Nally scrambling right, throws. What a job by King to come back to that pass and gets out of bounds, stop the clock. Quentin King.
Well, he got that full stretched out, too. Kept his feet and then got another 3 or 4 yards on the run. Nice job there by Quentin King.
He swam around the defender to create space and then came back to the ball and gets out of bounds. Most importantly, 16 seconds left here in the half. Bedford with 1 timeout. Trying to strike to end the half. East Mills will get it to start the 3rd. Out of the shotgun will go Nally, who's into the quarterback position on this possession. Nally wants to run. Spins out of a couple tackles, trying to get to the boundary, and he didn't, I don't think. Yeah, it's going to prompt another Bedford timeout with 7 seconds left. So now, I mean, you're treating this like you've only got 1 play, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't think I would.
I mean, you're from the 20.
I think I would try to run it out here to get myself a little bit closer and get 2 plays.
But you got to get out of bounds.
You got to get out of bounds, right? And that's why he's got to run an out route. So you're either going to get a quick incompletion, or you're going to get an out route out of bounds, and you really don't need to worry about the down here. Your 2nd down, you've only got 2 plays probably at the most left, so that's not a problem. So you can either take 1 shot in the end zone or take 1 to get. You might you're going to take a shot into the end zone anyway. I guess I've talked myself out of it. I guess I'd take the shot right here.
We're going to have it at the 22-yard line. East Mills will bring defenders back to about the 5 with McGrew and Stortenbecker back there.
3 deep secondary back there.
Nally pump fakes. This will throw to the end zone. Caught by Purdy trying to get to the end zone, and he can. He's stopped 3 yards short. Shea Purdy made the grab, but East Mills defense playing back did a good job of preventing him from getting in, and the Wolverines will take a 21-6 lead into the halftime break. We'll step aside. Halftime coverage coming up here in a moment on the KMA video stream at KMAland.com.
Mutual Insurance, your family's needs and success are our priority. That's our legacy. Bringing added convenience to our clients is important to us, and our new office at 614 Holland Avenue in Stanton does just that. It provides a central location for servicing our policyholders and our agents more efficiently. Find a local agent at legacymutualia.com and see how we've been providing farm and homeowners coverage in Southwest Iowa since 1870. Legacy Mutual Insurance, a Grinnell Mutual member, now located in Stanton.
75.
Since 1892, Malvern Bank has been building community from 404 Main Street in Malvern, Iowa. For generations, Malvern Bank has been serving local businesses, families, and farms to help them achieve their goals in every step of their lives. From saving for college to planning for retirement and everything in between, Malvern Bank is your full-service community bank. Call, click, or stop in today to apply for an account, loan, or credit card. Malvern Bank, we build community. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Nutrien Ag Solutions is your leading agricultural retailer of crop inputs and expert solutions. And they're your choice in the region for top-of-the-line products and customer service. When nothing short of the best is your standard, talk with Nutrien Ag Solutions in Westboro, Missouri, Coyne, Percival, and Essex, Iowa for fall application and products. Nutrien Ag Solutions, growing your crops and your bottom line.
We're at halftime here in Malvern tonight. Trevor Mater, Tom Moore with you. It is 21-6. East Mills leading Bedford. Kind of a clunky first quarter. But the East Mills ground game working to success right now here, Tom.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, I would really call this a sloppy first half by both teams. Thornburg kind of got it going in the second quarter with the run game especially. He has 66 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns from 3, 13, and 6. And, boy, I tell you what, not what we expected out of either team. We expected more of a run game out of Bedford. And Thornburg is 4 of 11 for 149. So not necessarily what we expected out of him. We probably thought that we'd see more throwing out of him, but he does have 3 interceptions as well, and that has kept the Bulldogs in the ballgame.
Yeah, early on in the game, East Mills was able to score first on a run by Thornburg. Bedford took advantage of a turnover. They scored, couldn't get the point after try. East Mills was able to tack on 2 more touchdowns by Thornburg to grow this lead to 21-6. Bedford's had opportunities. They've had a couple of turnovers. They had the play before the half that got stopped inside the 5. Right now, I'd imagine if you're Coach Jeremy Nally and company, you're trying to do anything you can just to wake this offense up. And we saw that on the final drive of the first half when they put Connor Nally in at quarterback, able to march down the field. Another play or two, another 30 seconds or so, and they're probably in the end zone making this a 1-score game.
Yeah, and that early turnover that they got deep in East Mills territory, where they ended up turning it over on downs, could have been crucial because that would have gave them a lead, right? I believe right there. So, that was a crucial part of the football game that they couldn't punch it in from inside the red zone, and the East Mills defense. Especially up front, I tell you, that front 6 is really doing a nice job there. Front 6 of Haney and Allen and Ray and Krause and let's see, linebacker Jackson Embry and Ryan Stortenbecker. Those 6 are really doing a fine job up front for the East Mills Wolverines right now.
So we're at halftime here in Malvern tonight. Homecoming here at East Mills as well. And right now it's looking to be a good homecoming.
Speaking of homecoming, I found out the homecoming court for the East Mills Wolverines, King Mason Krause and Queen Aspen Krause. Yes, twin brother and sister.
Mike Wood would be very proud of you for mentioning the homecoming king and queen here tonight. We had a chance earlier this week to catch up with a couple of former KMA-landers that are doing good things at the collegiate level. Those include trainers Emma Flathers, who's playing volleyball at DMAC right now, and St. Albert's Lauren Williams, who is a big contributor to a Midland squad that is currently ranked number 3 in the nation in NAIA. So we're going to hear those interviews. When we come back, we'll get you set for the second half of Bedford East Mills on the KMA video stream. Upon further review, and it's always fun to catch up with former KMA-landers that are doing good things at the collegiate level. And one of those right now is Lauren Williams, former St. Albert standout. Has been a large part of the success right now that Midland volleyball is having. And Lauren is with us to talk about it. Lauren, how are things going today?
Going good so far.
Good. Thanks for joining us. First off, just talk about this. It's your freshman year, and you're having a big impact. The team is playing well. What have been your thoughts on how things have gone to your first year there in Midland?
Everything's been going pretty good. I mean, it's a freshman year, so it's a little nerve-wracking going into collegiate level playing a sport, but I think it's super fun. I love the girls so much, and it's been a pretty good experience so far, I think.
Yeah, talk about the transition from high school to college. You, of course, played, had a great career there at St. Albert, played in a lot of big matches and against really good teams, but does that prepare you for the move to the collegiate level?
I think so. I know the team the conference that I played in, the Hawkeye 10, was a super competitive conference when I was in high school, and I think it still is now. And just being able to get the bigger competition really helped me, and going against really great girls and really great teams. And now going into college, transitioning was a little difficult. There's a lot of more technical things that I feel like I had to learn as I was going into college. But I think as I go along, it was a lot more easier to transition to, and I know a lot more things, and I feel like I've gotten a lot more competitive out of it.
You've had an instant impact there right now, third on the team in kills. First off, how exciting is it for you as a freshman to contribute the way you are? And did you expect this, or do you feel like maybe you're exceeding your expectations a little bit there in year one?
I mean, I think I'm exceeding my expectations a little bit in a way. I feel like I could have a chance of making a really good impact on the team, even if I didn't play. I could still be on the other side, on the scout side team, and still be helping our starters play really well and just really make an impact. And that's really what I want to do throughout my 4 years anyways. So I think that'll be a great thing for me to just keep and continue doing.
Yeah, offensively, 142 kills. That's 2.4%. So what are you doing offensively? What are you seeing offensively that's creating the success that you're having right now?
Definitely watching film constantly over the teams that we play. Coach G always talks about always continuously watching film, always make sure you know what spots you have that are open, what spots that you can hit to, corners, seams, tip balls, whatever it may be, just to help you keep the rally playing or get those kills so you can help the team out during hard plays or hard rallies, I guess.
Yeah, and I know you've only been at Midland now for a couple of months, but I'm sure you're seeing a lot of growth in your game. Where are you feeling that's coming from? Where have been some areas that maybe you've improved on from, say, your senior year last year to your freshman year this year?
I think definitely blocking has been a huge thing for me lately. I know it was a really hard transition because college, I feel like, is so much more of a faster pace than what my high school was. So I really had to transition to that and make sure I always was watching the hitter and watching the setter and where the setter was going to set the ball, and then watching the hitter that was getting the ball and setting up in the right position to be able to get a block in. So I think that was a pretty hard thing for me to learn how to do. But I think as we've continuously done it in practice, it's really helped, and I think it's paying off now in the end. Continuously doing it in practice.
Yeah, we're talking with Lauren Williams, St. Albert graduate, and now helping Midland volleyball off to a great season. 15-2 is where you guys stand right now. I know you just had an 11-game win streak get snapped a couple weeks ago, but won the last 3 at the time we record this as well. What is it that makes this team tick right now? Where's that success coming from?
Honestly, I think it's just the little small things, the little details that we're trying to perfect and get better at. A lot of the things that we work on now especially is like blocking, making sure we're serving aggressive more and not just giving the other team an easy ball, making sure we're hitting and not making errors, and just making sure that when we do hit the ball, it's not just an easy ball for them to play out and get a kill on us. Just little things like that, and making sure that you always play for every ball, and not every ball that you hit or that you pass or that you set always matters. And you have to continuously do that every game and in every practice to make yourself better.
Looking ahead for you individually and for the team, what are you hoping to get out of the rest of the year? What do you want to accomplish?
Obviously, win the NAIA championship. But I think overall, just honestly getting better. And I love these girls endlessly. So it's just really just enjoying my time here and just enjoying the winning and even the lessons that you learn here from even losing games and stuff like that. Just, yeah.
As successful as you've been this year, and knowing you've got 3 more years left as well, how excited does that have you for the future there at Midland?
I'm pretty excited. I know our team has a lot of future ahead of us. As Coach Gisman always tells us, we have a lot of depth on the team. And even when something goes wrong, we always have someone else that can do the same thing. Or just little things, if someone's not having a very good day, we're always there for them, or something like that.
Yeah, that's Lauren Williams of St. Albert. So now at Midland, having a fantastic start to her volleyball career. Lauren, thank you so much for the time today. It's been fun following the first part of your volleyball career, and best of luck going forward.
Thank you.
Welcome back and upon further review, and we are chatting today with a former KMA lander, Emma Flathers. Wasn't too long ago we were talking about her decision to play volleyball at Des Moines Area Community College, and now she's doing it, and she's doing great things. Was recently named an Iowa Community College Athletic Conference Player of the Week for her setting ability, and Emma's with us right now. Emma, how are we doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing well. I know you had a game last night. How'd everything go last night for you guys?
So we played Iowa Central, and we actually lost in 3, but, we have another day to get better and improve.
Yeah, Iowa Central, always a very, very good program. Certainly. Tell me a little bit. I mentioned, you made your decision to play DMAC, and it was relatively later in the process that you decided that you wanted to, continue to play volleyball. I would imagine, and I don't want to speak for you, no regrets about that.
No, there aren't any regrets with my decision at DMAC.
Yeah, you have had a great kind of start to your career, and as mentioned, you've jumped into the setter role. Tell me about that. I know you didn't start out there as a setter. I mean, you were a setter, but you weren't starting. But then you made your way into the lineup, and good things have happened.
Yeah, so the setter who started the season actually broke her nose. I think it was 2 weeks ago now, but thankfully she recovered well and is back. Last night was her first full game back, so I just had to step in the role while she was gone and lead the team to where we were.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. So you showed what you could do in your opportunity and were named a Player of the Week in the conference. Tell me about that week that was. I mean, what was going well for you?
Yeah, so the week I played in 2 tournaments, one in Illinois and one in Kansas. And then we had a conference game that I played in. And the one in Kansas this past weekend was really what had me going. I felt like that's the one that I showed my ability the best in. But, I mean, the coaches and team really helped me get to, the ability that I was playing at, which was helpful.
Yeah, I'm talking with Emma Flathers, former trainer, standout now at DMAC. And, Emma, so you step in that situation. I mean, that's not an easy situation for anybody. How much kind of repetition, how much chemistry did you have with the hitters when you stepped in?
Yeah, so what's nice is because there's only 2 setters, we split up in practice often and work on the connections that we have. And so, I mean, I get quite a bit of reps in practice, which is nice for those types of situations.
Yeah, that is good. Did you tell me a little bit about your growth so far? I know it is early in your freshman year there, but what kind of growth are you seeing? How do you feel about where you are as a setter versus maybe at the end of your senior year?
Yeah, so here at college, I mean, as one would expect, the blocks are bigger, they're faster. So, I mean, you have to split the block a lot better than what you would in high school. So, I mean, just adapting to that and learning how to adjust to all of that is big. And, I mean, I think I've done a decent job so far, but, I mean, there's always room to improve with that type of stuff.
Yeah, what kind of feedback did you receive from your coaches and your teammates about the run there you had as a setter?
Yeah, I mean, the coaches keep, reminding me that, even though, I'm not playing, they do still have, confidence in me and, being the setter that I am and all that type of stuff. But I mean, there's always places that I can improve, and the tempo that we run is something that I can improve on, and trying to get to where our other setter is at right now is something that I've been working on.
Obviously, you were ready, you were prepared because you came out and put up the numbers that you did and had the success that you did. How difficult is it though for you? I mean, you didn't spend a lot of time on a bench in trainer at all, and so there's a lot of observing and a lot of learning in a different way, I guess, there at DMAC.
Yeah, that was definitely an adjustment that I'm still working on, dealing with, but I mean, it's good. I still get opportunities to play, which is nice, but it's an adjustment for sure, but it works out.
Yeah, for the rest of your freshman year, what kind of hopes, expectations, goals do you have for yourself?
For myself, I just want to continue working on setting a faster tempo and getting ready for the spring season that we have coming up.
Emma Flathers, a trainer alum, and doing good things there at DMAC. Emma, congratulations on the success that you're having, and we wish you the best the rest of your freshman year and beyond, all right?
Thank you so much.
Nutrien Ag Solutions is your leading agricultural retailer of crop inputs and expert solutions. And they're your choice in the region for top-of-the-line products and customer service. When nothing short of the best is your standard, talk with Nutrien Ag Solutions in Westboro, Missouri, Coyne, Percival, and Essex, Iowa for fall application and products. Nutrien Ag Solutions, growing your crops and your bottom line.
Okay.
Your place at Northwest Missouri State University. From day one, experience a university like no other. In the classroom, you'll find career-ready academic programs and hands-on learning, not to mention championship sports teams and clubs. Find your passion and your people. Plus, textbooks and a fully loaded laptop are included in your tuition, with $19 million in scholarships and aid available. They also have a 97% placement rate. Visit nwmissouri.edu to apply today. Northwest Missouri State University, where Bearcats connect.
Time here in Malvern tonight. Trevor Mader, Tom Moore with you on the KMA video stream. 21-6 our score as we get ready to start the second half. Take a look at some of these scores from around the area right now. Southwest Valley Earlham, they're into the fourth quarter. No surprise there. 21-zip Timberwolves. Harlan all over Atlantic, 46-0. HSTW all over Sydney, 55-0. Underwood's up 47-0 on Trainer. Glenwood up 27-7 on Winterset in the third quarter. State Ray battle in Class 3A tonight. ADM's up 28-7 on Creston. Also, see if we can get a Red Oak Green County score. That score is still 13-10. Green County leading Red Oak. In this 8-player district tonight, we've also got Lennox playing Griswold. Lennox is up 61-0 at halftime of that one. And Fremont Mills and East Union, that score is 40-14 in the second quarter. Cam in 8-player action up 52-6 on Exira EHK right now. Tom Moore, as we look at tonight's scores, I know you and I talked about it a little bit at halftime as well. Anything sticking out to you?
Well, I think, I think Cam, after last week's huge win over Audubon, and now this week, 52-6 over EHK.
Exira EHK.
Yeah, Exira EHK. Boy, I tell you what, I think Cam's coming on right now. I think everybody else is just pretty much taking care of business.
So East Mills will get the ball to start the second half here, up 21-6. Bedford had a chance to cut it down to a one-possession deficit to end the half. Couldn't do so. Got stopped inside the 5.
Well, I think Bedford's got to get a stop right here on this first possession and gain some momentum.
Clement Olney's kick goes into the end zone for a touchback. So East Mills will start their first drive on the 15-yard line. And one thing we saw in the first half with them, Tom, not a ton of pass plays that have connected, but when they have been able to connect in the air, they've been big, and it's set up rushing touchdowns for Zach Thornburg.
Right, exactly. And, yeah, not the first half I think that Zach Thornburg wanted to have with only 4 of 11 and 3 intercepts. I don't think that's what he wanted to see, but the 3 of those 4 completions were really big ones.
So now East Mills will start on their 15-yard line to begin the second half. Thornburg wants to throw, steps into one, and incomplete. Short hopped it to Mason Krause, who had 2 defenders on him.
Mason Krause falls incomplete.
And it'll be second down coming up for this East Mills offense.
Interesting start there for Kevin Schaefer's offense. I think he wants to get some confidence in Zach Thornburg after that first half and comes out throwing.
So 2nd and 10 coming up. Second play of this half for East Mills, 5 seconds in. Thornburg with the running back to his right hip out of the shotgun. It's Sortenbecker. It's been all night. Thornburg pump fakes and then falls down as the flag comes in, and Thornburg, oh no. He is slow to get up. Finally, Davis McGrew and another teammate will help him up. It's holding on East Mills.
Yeah, and that's back at the oh boy. That's
it's interesting.
Yeah, well, there's a 4-yard loss on the play, so it goes back to a 3-yard loss, goes back to about the 12-yard line.
And you're trading the down. So, I mean, it's not a
4-yard loss, yeah. Yeah, so, and you're trading it down for probably, well, the flag was thrown about the 8, so the ball would have been on the 4, so you're trading it down for 7 yards.
Yeah. And when you're trying to get the ball back, I mean, I know there's still a lot of time left, but you're trying to get the ball back. Maybe that's the way to go. On 3rd down, they run it and nothing there. Thornburg.
Yeah, boy.
I think that was big Micah Nally.
Yes.
Among those in there. Stortenbecker gets caught there, and it's 4th down for East Mills. They'll punt it away to start the second half. So Bedford's defense gets that stop you talked about them needing. Now you got to find a way, though, if you're the Bulldogs, to turn that into points. Gordon's punt fielded by Asher Weed to the 35. Weed has blockers. Still on his feet, inside the 20, inside the 15 before being knocked out of bounds. And a late flag comes in. There were some extracurriculars afterwards on the far sideline.
Yeah, somebody took him to the ground, clear outside of the boundary there, and the flag came in. It's going to be a half the distance to the goal because that's a 15-yard penalty, and you're inside the 15-yard line there. So it's going to go to, from about 40, I think it's going to go down to about the 7-yard line.
So the big return by Weed sets up great field position for Bedford to start the second half. And Connor Nally now into the quarterback position. Tristan Cummings got the start, had a chance to talk with some of the Bedford assistants during halftime, and they just said, we wanted to try something different. Sometimes you need that to spark an offense. Nally will put Walston in motion, gives it to Walston, doesn't get much on the jet sweep.
Yep, that's it.
Silas Allen
that's
with the
their
stop.
go-to. That's their go-to running play, and just wasn't there. I think East Mills has that one sniffed out.
So you got Silas Walston tackled by Silas Allen. I think that's a new KMA Sports record for people named Silas in a football game. 2nd and 8 now coming up for Bedford from the 8-yard line. Second goal from the 8, I should say. Shotgun look, Nally. Put a man in motion. Nally will keep it, then try to shovel it, and it's on the ground. They're calling an incomplete pass. Dangerous play.
Yeah, very dangerous there. He could have taken that down to the 2 or 3 or 2 yard line there, but thought he could get it out to the receiver and get the touchdown, and just barely went forward there, close to being a lateral and a fumble.
That was almost very disastrous for Bedford, but now they've got it 3rd and goal on the 8. Their first drive of the second half. Nally puts a man in motion. Will toss it to Walston out of the backfield, incomplete. Kind of a unique delivery on that one by Nally, and it sets up 4th down for the Bedford offense. And Nally will come to the sideline and see what the call is from Coach Jeremy Nally.
Boy, and defense did their job, special teams did their job, and now the offense, just having a rough time inside the 10-yard line.
So 4th and goal coming up for Bedford from the 8 after the big return. Got them in the penalty tacked on, got them great field position. They've got to find a way to make it worth something here, but we're going to get a stoppage and a timeout taken by Bedford to avoid a delay of game. We'll keep it here. Tom Moore, if you're Coach Jeremy Nally, what are you drawing up?
Well, you've got to throw the ball in the end zone because I think East Mills is doing such a good job of spying on Nally right now that he could maybe get 4 or 5 here on a scramble or on a run play. But I don't think
the only problem is you need 8.
That's the problem. You need to have 8 or 9 here, and so I'm gonna make sure that ball gets thrown into the end zone so that we don't end up short again like we have twice already now in this game. Once in the first quarter when we could have gone ahead, and then once right at the end of the half when we ended up on the 3-yard line.
So 4th and goal coming up for the 8 from Bedford, down 21-6 with 9:49 left here in the third. Bedford taking their time in this timeout, trying to figure out what they want to scheme up.
Boy, they've got that ball just almost on the 10-yard line, and I don't understand that because the first now maybe it's just me and I can't see the line right, but boy, I thought that.
Well, it started on the 8, and then they got stood up.
I thought we had a -1 on that one, and maybe we're right. Maybe it is about the 9-yard line.
So on 4th down, Nally wants to throw left side. Motzinger, hold it in, touchdown.
Boy.
Bedford, the sophomore's big night gets a little better as he has a chance to cut this down to a 1-score game on the 8-yard touchdown pass from Connor Nally to Garrison Motzinger.
Jackson Embry was all over him, and I tell you what, that is a great catch by Motzinger on the out route as he was breaking that thing back towards you know the receiver. You always want a receiver to come back to the ball, but when you're on that out route, that's hard to do. But he cut that angle away from the tough coverage by Embry.
Now Bedford, big 2-point try here. Nally to King, and they're going to say he broke the plane on the catch before being driven out, so it's down to a one-score game at 21-14. Bedford with the big touchdown on 4th down. We're back in 30 on the KMA video stream.
America is choosing to be a healthier nation. That's why so many people choose a Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart pharmacies are locally owned, and they offer a full range of vitamins, non-prescription medicines, cold remedies, and convenient items for you and your family. And when it comes to having a prescription filled, you can always count on your Health Mart family pharmacist to do it right. Take your next prescription to Oakland Pharmacy, your independently owned Health Mart pharmacy in Oakland. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
Well, Bedford with the answer they needed on the touchdown pass from Connor Nally to Gerritsen Motzinger with their first possession of the second half. And the ensuing 2-point try knocks it down to a one-score game at 21-14 in favor of East Mills. 9:44 left in the third. And Tom Moore, that was the answer that Bedford needed in a bad way.
Yeah, you know, that's a momentum thing for them. And like I said, the defense did their job, the special teams did their job, and now the offense has completed that. And
Clement Olney's kick bobbled by McGrew back inside the 5. McGrew fields it, breaks out of a couple tackles, and then brought down inside the 20. He had one last week where he ran into the pile, kept the legs moving, came out of it, and ended up scoring a touchdown. That time gets it up past the 15. Looks like East Mills will have the ball on the 18-yard line to begin their second drive of the second half. First drive ended with a punt.
This is a third possession. I think we'd had about 6 or 7 possessions in the first half by this time.
Yeah, we had 10 in the first quarter, working on 11th. So 1st and 10 from the 19. Thornburg will put Stortenbecker on his right hip out of the shotgun. Thornburg wants to throw. Now we'll try to make a play with his legs. Quentin King covers some ground and brings him down. And no gain will make it second down. Might have actually lost a yard or so on that.
Yeah, a little over a yard. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna make it 2. I'm going to make it a loss of 2 on that.
So now it's second, and we're going to call it 12 from the 19 for the East Mills offense. Thornburg in the shotgun. Stortenbecker on his left hip. Rolling left is Thornburg. Throws across the field. Dangerous throw. Kraus couldn't quite hang on to it. Asher Weed was in coverage.
Yeah, that's boy, I tell you, coaches always say never throw late back across the field, and he did there and hit Kraus in the hands, but he couldn't hold on.
So it's third down coming up for the East Mills offense as they will bring the play in with Peyton Embry from the sideline, and Bedford trying to pin their ears back and get another defensive stop early on in this half.
Man-to-man coverage being played here by the Bulldogs, and they're in a 3-1 right now.
Thornburg keeps it. I don't know, the snap might have kind of thwarted what they want to do there, and Thornburg doesn't get anything. He's stopped. Silas Walston in there to make the tackle, and another defensive stop for Bedford.
Yeah, boy, nice job here. You know, well, gain of about 4 there for Thornburg, but his other 3 rushes this half have all been for negative yards, and that one just about was, but he got King outrun.
So now Jack Gordon to punt. Asher Weed had a nice return earlier. Gordon with a rugby-style punt. It was almost blocked, and that is not a good punt.
No,
that looked like my golf drive.
Yep. Yeah, that was that one. He got off the side of his foot, and that's about I'm going to say about a 6 or 7 yard punt there.
So Bedford now will be in position at the East Mills 26-yard line.
2 great field positions now. 8-yard line and 26-yard line on 2 possessions here for Bedford.
So Nally with Walston in the backfield. Bobbled the snap for a moment, did Nally. Breaks out a one tackle, but Mason Krause will clean things up after a gain of a couple by Nally. And Connor Nally coming into the quarterback position has provided a spark for this Bedford offense.
Yeah, it just brings a different dimension. He's a little quicker first step and a little quicker decision making on his pass attempts.
Now Tristan Cummings will bring the play in from the sideline. Second down from the 24-yard line for Bedford, trying to possibly take a lead on this possession. It'd be their first of the night. Nally in the pocket, wants to throw right side to Weed. Incomplete, overthrew him just a little. Two defenders were in the area. And it's 3rd and 9 for Bedford. So 3rd and 9 from the 25.
You've got a lot of things you can do right here because you're going to use all 4 downs here. I would be sure, and so you can do a lot of things here on 3rd and 9.
Nally wanted to screen, instead kept it, options it on the shovel to Purdy, and got maybe a little bit on that.
Yeah, boy, dangerous, but I don't know that he gained a whole lot there, but he did keep from a loss, from about a 3-yard loss. So the play maybe made him 4 yards, but got him a completion too.
Yeah, I said option. That was more of a shovel pass. He was getting wrapped up, just saw an open man in Shea Purdy, and now it's 4th and 9 for Bedford from the 25-yard line. They scored on their last 4th down.
Only a 2-man rush here.
Nally pocket collapsing. Heaves one to the end zone. Motzinger incomplete. Embry was in coverage. And Bedford can't take advantage of the good field position off the bad punt. And East Mills, the defensive stop, gets the ball back.
Yeah, that wasted possession there, especially when you've got them deep in their own territory. You need to get points there. That'll come back to be could be a determining factor in this football game now, with a 7-point deficit by Bedford at this point.
So now at their own 25-yard line, East Mills will go to work, up 21-14, 6:26 left here in the half, and a run up the middle, good for maybe a yard or so by Thornburg. Not much there for the taking, and they're going to say no gain. Bedford's defense has had a couple of stops early on in this second half. So it'll be 2nd and 10 coming up for this Wolverine offense. Out of the shotgun will go Thornburg. Thornburg dropping back, pressure coming. King in pursuit. Thornburg scrambles away and then gets crunched by Nally and Walston, who were both there to hit him kind of awkwardly. But Thornburg does a good job of evading a scrambler and turns what could have been a big loss into a couple-yard gain. And it's 3rd down and 7 coming up for the East Mills offense. Greene County Red Oak continue to go back and forth. That game 20-17 right now in favor of Greene County. So 3rd and 7 from the 27. For East Mills, they've had to punt on their first 2 drives of the second half. Thornburg pump fakes on 3rd down, scrambling left, takes a shot downfield. Embry beat his man, incomplete, and I think they're going to get defensive holding on Bedford. Clay Savage was in coverage. It looked like from here it's one of two things. It's your defensive holding or Embry had given up on the route. And it's on Bedford. So it's a fresh set of downs and a big penalty on the Bulldogs. Keeps East Mills offense on the field. And Tom, is a coach. Those are the types of penalties that just will drive you bonkers.
Well, yeah, that's tough, but you know, I think the interference call was there. I think we saw him grab a jersey as he was making the break, and
Embry just kind of stopped.
Right, and then took off again, and yep.
So on first down, Thornburg uncorks one over the middle. Kraus has it inside the 20. Brought down at the 20, actually, by Asher Weed. But again, Thornburg finds Kraus over the middle.
18 yards on that reception. Nice job.
So East Mills in the Bedford red zone. Under 5 to go here in the third quarter, trying to push this lead back up to 2 scores. And the winner of this one be in a really good spot to nab a postseason berth with 2 games left. Both teams still have East Union and Stanton left, so they'll have to take care of business there. Thornburg rolling left, kind of a sidearm throw is caught by Embry on the left side.
Give him a gain of 6.
Yeah, Peyton Embry gets it.
Thornburg doing a nice job of keeping his eyes downfield there, because he could have taken off and run for 4 or 5 there, but saw Embry open and flicked him the ball as he was moving to his left.
So 2nd and 3 from the 13 for East Mills. The Wolverines driving. Thornburg in the shotgun. Stortenbecker back there with them. Gave it to Stortenbecker, and he gets swarmed, and then a late flag comes in. I don't know. Connor Nally took Stortenbecker to the ground, and I think that's going to cost Bedford.
That one, that's just good aggressive football play there.
It wasn't malicious.
No.
So that's going to be a big one on Bedford. That's what, there's a pile there as well. And Nally, I think, just maybe playing to the echo of the whistle there. Cost Bedford some yards. East Mills going to have it now inside the 10 at the 7.
Half the distance down to the 7-yard line.
So 1st and goal for East Mills from the 7. Thornburg wanting to throw, looking left, now cuts back up the middle, gets brought down from behind. Silas Walston is there for the stop. No gain, and it's 2nd down coming up for the East Mills offense. Jack Gordon will bring in the play from the sideline.
Yeah, I think if I was Bedford here, I'd have a couple guys spying on Thornburg here, because twice in this situation he's run that thing right up the middle for the touchdown.
So on 2nd down, the option, Stortenbecker out of the backfield trying to get to the boundary. Ball came out as Motzinger made contact with him, but
4-yard line.
Goes out of bounds, and now it's a 3rd down coming up from the 4 is where they'll spot it. More like the 5. And a 3rd down for East Mills offense. Be interesting to see here if it's 4-down territory, if they've got a pretty good kicker in Ryan Stortenbecker, if they let him give one a try. He's 3 for 4 on field goal attempts this year.
Yeah, I think we'll have to see what happens here. But I think if it's from the 4, I think he'll go for the touchdown.
So 3rd and goal from the 4. Thornburg rolling left, broken play, throws it to McGrew on the left side, incomplete, and Thornburg didn't have anything open for him, and that's going to be 4th down for East Mills. We'll see what Kevin Schaefer and Claude Lang opt to do. Looks like they're talking about it on the sideline. I think they're going to go for it. And they are going to go for it. So 4th and goal.
Oh, no.
No, they're going to kick it. Okay, they are going to kick it.
Yep.
The way they walked out there for a moment, it looked like they were going to go for it.
Snapper is number 21, Sheldon Vandenberg.
Kick by Stortenbecker is up and through, and it's a 2-score game, and that's the perk of having a strong kicker in the 8-player game. East Mills makes it 24-14. 2:30 left here in the 3rd on the KMA video stream.
OSI is considered a premier global food provider by many of the world's leading brands. OSI delivers leading-edge food solutions for product development as well as processing, and much of it is done from their Oakland, Iowa plant. Being a leader in the industry allows OSI Oakland to give back to the communities by sponsoring area high school events, offering special programs for veterans, and other community outreach programs. To learn more, visit osigroup.com and search for the Oakland, Iowa location.
Ryan Stortenbecker with a 21-yard field goal makes it 24-14 advantage East Mills. 2.5 minutes left here in the third quarter. And Tom Moore, the big thing for East Mills there, they get points, they get a 2-score game.
Yeah, I think the key in all of this here has been a couple things that happened. Bedford had great field position and went 4 and out, couldn't score, and then a big pass interference on third and 8. So those two things are really a momentum shift here now for East Mills.
Kick into the end zone for a touchback. And Bedford will start this next drive on their own 15-yard line. 2.5 left here in the third. It's a 24-14 East Mills lead. Wolverines 3-2 on the year. Bedford 3-2 on the year. Both teams 1-2 in 8-player District 9. They have played 4 times ever, and all 4 of those matchups have gone by way of East Mills.
Did we think we'd see Bedford throw the ball 20 times here
in
less than 3 quarters?
I think if you had told me, one team would throw the ball no less than 20 times, the other team would have all 3 touchdowns on the ground, would have had it flip from what we're seeing here tonight.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it.
So Nally puts King in motion. Nally evades a sack again, shovel pass out of the backfield to Garrison Motzinger, who gets tackled by Ryan Stortenbecker. Nally, kind of a riverboat gambler back there, Tom, with the way he isn't afraid to disperse the football.
Got some of the same thought process, I think, as that quarterback for Kansas City. What's his name?
I can't remember.
I can't either.
But I think
I don't want to say it, that's why.
Yeah, I think he'll hopefully make me very happy on Sunday. 2nd and 3. Coming up for Bedford. High snap. They give it to King. King has blockers. Has the first down before being chased out of bounds up by the 35-yard line. We're going to spot it at the 33. But a first down for Bedford after the gain of 11 by King. With 2:15 left here in the third. Put a man in motion, Motzinger. They give it to him, a rare carry. And he gets up past the 35 to about the 38-yard line. So a gain of about 5 for Garrison Motzinger. He's going to make it second and either a long 5, short 6. Bulldogs down 2 scores. Got to get something here, I feel like, to end the frame. And cut this back down to a 1-score margin. Greene County has made it a 2-score advantage on Red Oak now, 27-17. 90 seconds left here in the third. Nally puts King in motion. Nally keeps it, has room, has the first down, gets brought down to the 32-yard line, but a nice gain by Connor Nally. Give him 11.
First and 10 Bulldogs.
Bedford with a fresh set of downs into East Mills territory. A minute 27 left here in the third quarter. So on first down, Bulldogs offense will go to work. Got King in kind of a wing position. High snap. They give it to him. King up towards the middle. Davis McGrew stands him up at the 23-yard line. And right now, Tom, Bedford just gashing East Mills up the middle.
Yeah, and this is what we expected out of them. We thought we'd see them run the ball and run the ball and run the ball, and now they seem to be finding a groove.
We have not seen a Silas Walston carry in the entire second half. I know he came out defensively as a late substitution on play, and I have not seen him back out there since. 2nd and 5 coming up for Bedford. Nally will keep it up the middle and tackle by Davis McGrew, close to a first down. And they looks like we'll move the chains. At least that was the signal, and it is a first down for Bedford to the 22, so a gain of 5. And the Bulldogs in business, 20 seconds left in the quarter. They don't have to run another play, but I think they're going to try. 15 left now on the clock. Nally out of a shotgun. Will put Motzinger in motion. Fakes the jet to Motzinger. Nally will keep it. Breaks out of a tackle inside the 10 before getting brought down. And that looks to be how the quarter will end. Unless he got out of bounds, and he didn't. The clock will run, and that's how the third ends. So we'll go to the fourth. Bedford driving down 24-14. As we go to the final frame, East Mills on top here on the KMA video stream online at KMAland.com. We're back in 30 seconds from Malvern.
At PCSB, we believe in helping our customers and our community grow, and service is how we do it. This is about making banking better. We are here to serve. We have an innovative spirit and a heart for people that moves us to do what's right. Because at the end of the day, we know what matters most. Visit us online at wearepcsb.com. PCSB, we believe in you. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to Malvern on the KMA video stream online at KMAland.com. Trevor Mader, Tom Moore with you. We go to the fourth quarter of this Class 8 player District 9 battle. 24-14, East Mills leading Bedford. Bedford with the ball, 1st and goal on the 9-yard line. And Tom Moore, this is a very, very big drive for the Bulldogs. You've got to end it in points in some way. For East Mills, get a stop here. Things are looking good.
Yeah, well, this is where Bedford's had their trouble. They get into that red zone and they've stalled out a couple 3 times tonight. They've just got to get some points here. You're right, and they've had some success. We'll see what happens here. They have had success running the ball, getting the ball down here, and this is a long drive that they've gone.
Nally again keeps it, and that is blown up by Ryan Stortenbecker.
Yep, got a little blitz there. He read the play, and boy, he was all over Nally there.
Drops him for about a 4-yard loss. And now Nally will come over towards the Bedford sideline, get the play call from Coach Jeremy Nally. So 2nd down from the 13. Bedford down 10. Early in the fourth quarter, empty backfield for Nally. He'll put Motzinger in motion. They give it to Motzinger. Spins out of a tackle, still on his feet inside the 10. Good job by Motzinger getting the shoulders low and moving forward. Spotted at the 9-yard line, so
got
gain
the 4
of 4.
back. Got the 4 back that Nally lost, and now a big third down call here. A big third down call here. You're looking to, you've got to get a good positive run here if you're going to run the ball. Otherwise, throw that thing and try and get it in the end zone.
So on 3rd and goal from the 9, Nally puts Motzinger in motion. They want to throw, pressure coming. Nally throws it away dangerously as Jack Gordon was draped all over him, and it's incomplete to bring up 4th down.
Now you can kick from here because you're down 2 scores. You're going to need 2 scores. You can either kick here or you can go for it, and it's looking like he's giving him a play call here.
I think
they're going to go for it.
So 4th and goal from the 9. Bedford has been turned away twice already inside the red zone. Need a score here to cut this down to 1. Nally out of the shotgun. Passing play all the way over the middle. Incomplete. Penalty markers fly. There was contact. I think he wanted to go to Motzinger. He got kind of bogged down with Stortenbecker and Embry in coverage. Now in high school it is not a spot foul. whereas in the professional game it would put it at the 1 yard line.
Right.
It's still going to be 4th down.
It'll be half the distance and still be 4th down, correct, from the 9. It'll be go to the 4.5, and it'll be 4th down and 4.5.
Does that change the way you attack this at all? Cutting the distance in half?
Well, yeah. Nally's had some success running the ball, and we might see him run that fake read option and run the ball here. This putting it at the 4.5 gives you the option of a run or a pass.
So here we go with a 4th and goal from inside the 5 for Bedford. 10:35 left. They're down 10. Nally puts King in motion. King will go on his right side, and there was a penalty, and that's going to be on Bedford to put it back at the 9-yard line.
Against the Bulldogs, 5 yards.
So it goes back to 4th and goal at the 9.
From inside the 10.
And Coach Jeremy Nally not
the
happy about how that transpired.
The Bulldogs just lost a half a yard on that penalty exchange.
Yeah, because it went from 4.5.
Right.
Now they're back to technically the 9.5.
Yep.
There's some expert math for you from Trevor Mader and Tom Moore. So 4th and goal from it's the Villisca and Grinnell Educations combining themselves. 4th and goal from inside the 10. Nally wants to throw. Pressure coming, trying to break out of a tackle. He's keeping the legs moving, tried to shovel it forward, I think, at the last moment, but he's brought down. He kept it, actually.
He was wrapped up, tried to get rid of the ball, but couldn't.
Jack Gordon there on the stop. And again, the East Mills defense comes up strong inside the 10. And they're going to take over on the 7 with 10:27 to go.
Well, if you're Bedford, you've got to have a stop now because you've got to score 2 times, and you can't let them go on a long drive. You just went on a drive from your own 15 down to the 4.5-yard line and couldn't get it in.
It's a 60.5-yard drive that results in no points. Thornburg unwinds one. Embry beat his man. Can't quite haul it in. A little too
just a hair overthrown. Yeah, ran the out and up, and boy, he had his man beat, but Thornburg couldn't quite get enough air under that ball to get it to him.
That might have been the dagger had that connected, but instead it's 2nd and 10 coming up for East Mills. With 10:22 left in this one. Thornburg with the running back there. It's Stortenbecker. He'll go out of the backfield. McGrew, I think, it's his first catch of the night. Nothing there. Actually lost a little bit. And it's a 3rd down for East Mills. Asher Weed got the stop.
Loss of about 4, brings up 3rd and 14.
HSTW, a big winner over Sydney tonight, 69-8. Southwest Valley beats Earlham 21-0. Underwood beats Trainer 54-0. So 3rd and 14 coming up for East Mills. Wolverines under 10 left in this game, up 10. Thornburg wants to throw, scrambling left, calling for defenders, takes a shot late, passes that sailed out of bounds, intended for McGrew. If that's holding in the end zone,
I don't know if it's that or if they called it a late hit.
No, it was on the play.
It is a hold.
If it's in the end zone, it's a safety, and it is in the end zone for a safety. So it's 2 points for Bedford, and most importantly as well, the ball back, Tom.
And you're still within 1 score.
Yeah, that's
with the 8 points. But you've got to score twice. You've got to score the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. But that is considered one score down. So it's and obviously that's a momentum changer right there as well.
So Bedford gets the stop, and they get the ball back, down only 1 score with 9:32 to go. And it's 24-16 here on the Cam video stream. We'll get the safety punt coming now for East Mills. And, Tom, if you're Bedford, you did a lot of nice things on that last drive. Just didn't find a way to punch in the end zone. It's kind of been a routine for them tonight.
Yeah, they've on each of those drives that they've got into the red zone, on their first down play, they've had a loss. And that's you got to get ahead of the chains when you're down there in the red zone.
So now East Mills will
Stortenbecker going to kick it off from the tee. You can either punt the ball or kick it off here. Stortenbecker. Whew. Stortenbecker has a great leg, and so they're letting him kick it off the tee.
So Stortenbecker powers that one inside the 10, and I think went out of bounds.
Out of bounds, so we've got a penalty here. Went out of bounds at the 1, though. Went out of bounds at the 1. What a leg he put into that ball.
So now Bedford will have a choice as far as whether or not to make him re-kick it, and I think they're going to back it up and make him re-kick it.
Well, I think you can take the ball 25 yards from where he kicked it off.
From where it goes out of bounds at.
Yeah.
40. Yeah, 40.
Well, in this, because he kicked it off at the 15, so 25 yards would be the 40-yard line. So you can either have the ball at the 40, or you can take them back 5, make them kick it again.
They're going to make him kick it again. And
well, I don't know. We're talking about it here.
Yeah, if it's a kickoff out of bounds and they opt to accept it, they're going to get the ball at midfield. And the officials conversing about it.
I don't think there's any question, but what I would take the ball at the 40 here, especially with Stortenbecker's leg. Yep.
Yeah, you get the option of either making them re-kick it
or
you can take it at the 40.
25 yards from where he kicked the ball.
Right, which is
right.
Which
and in this case, it's the 40. If it was a regular kick, it would be at the 25-yard line.
So now Bedford gets it at midfield, down a score after the safety. Connor Nally in at quarterback, 2 receivers on the right side. Low snap. Nally gets to it, has a hole, has a first down, spins out of one tackle, gets brought down by Embry inside the 25 of the 21, and Bedford with life. Knocking on the door of East Mills red zone.
Jackson Embry made a touchdown-saving tackle right there because Nally had spun out of a late tackle, and nice gain there of 19 yards by Connor Nally.
So down to the 22, 1st and 10 for Bedford. Nally in the shotgun. Ball was bobbled for a moment. King got it back. That was not clean on the exchange. But good news for Bedford, they get it back. And 2nd and 10 coming up for the Bedford offense. Under 9 to go in this game. This has been an interesting one, to put it lightly. 5 turnovers in the first half.
8:40 to go, and game still within reach. Either team can come out a winner here tonight.
So Nally in the shotgun. Screen. It was kind of a wobbler to Cummings. And he gets stood up. Actually, it was Shea Purdy on the catch, rather. And 3rd down coming up for Bedford at the 21-yard line. Davis McGrew got the tackle. Inside the 20 has been a Achilles heel for Bedford tonight.
Boy, it sure has. They've been down here, 3 times now, and this will be the 4th that they're in this area, and boy, just have come up empty to this point.
So 3rd and 9. Nally out of the shotgun. Actually, no, it's Cummings back there, and he throws one short to Asher Weed, and it's 4th and 9.
Boy, that was that wasn't good there. Asher Weed wasn't ready for the ball, and ball was thrown well behind it.
So 4th down, Tom. What are you dialing up here?
Well, you got to get somebody to the sticks. Connor now. Oh no, we got
Cummings back in
there. Back in at the QB.
Nally on the left side of the receiver spot. Cummings wants to throw Weed in and out of his hands, incomplete. He was at the sticks. Embry was in coverage, but it's incomplete. And again, the East Mills defense, their fourth stop inside the 25, gives them the ball back with 7:43 to go. And a big defensive stop for East Mills. Do we see a dose of the run here, Tom?
Well, if it was me, you sure would. I'd run that thing 3 times and run as much time off that clock as I can.
But instead, Thornburg drops back, kind of dangerously threw one that was almost picked off by Connor Nally.
I think that was a screen pass that was set up that wasn't there, and he just threw it into the ground at the feet of the receiver.
So with 7:36 to go, East Mills with a 2nd and 10 from the 20-yard line. Up 8, Thornburg in the shotgun. I want to option Stortenbecker on the left side. Can't break out of a stiff arm, and Shea Purdy delivers the cleanup hit. And it'll be 3rd down coming up for East Mills. And I think Stortenbecker actually went out of bounds before being brought down. That stops the clock. So East Mills has ran 2 plays. They burned 13 seconds. Now the clock will run on this 3rd and 9 from the 22.
That's interesting. Why the clock was stopped and
it
then started. It either should have continued to run.
Thornburg sets one deep to Gordon, incomplete. And a 3 and out for East Mills consumes only 33 seconds of game time.
Brings up 4th down and 9.
And Bedford going to get the ball back down 8.
That clock running there, I don't understand that. Why it wasn't running, and then why
it was.
did start on the ready for play. It just doesn't make sense.
Heck, gave Bedford maybe an extra 20 seconds or so.
Yes, it did.
So 4th and 9, Gordon will punt. High snap over his head. Gordon going to try to chase it down, make a play with it, and at least get out of the end zone, and he won't. He is met for a safety, and another safety in this quarter has made it 24-18. And the Bulldogs will get the ball back with a chance to tie it with a touchdown or take a lead with a 2-point try.
Boy, and they're trying to run it out. I think he's better off.
Just kicking it through the back of the end zone?
Just kneel down in the end zone when he picked it up. Kneel down, take the safety, and then let Stortenbecker kick it away, as opposed to running it out to maybe the 5 or 10 yard line, and now they've got a 1st and goal in that situation.
So Bedford channeling their inner Kirk Ferentz with 4 points here in this 4th quarter.
Oh boy, yeah, that's interesting, and it's the defense that's making the play, but that situation there, that was the fault of your snapper that snapped the ball over the head of the punter.
So 24-18 East Mills, 7:01 left. And the Bulldogs are going to get the ball back, again, with a chance to tie it or take the lead, but they've been turned away 4 times inside the 25 here tonight, including their last 3 drives. Stortenbecker to kick it away on the safety kick. And it's in play by Weed inside the 10. Weed trying to find some blockers. Brought down on an ankle tackle by Davis McGrew at the 22-yard line.
Thinking about that snap, I've got to put down a -22 for Stortenbecker. He's the punter, and that goes
Gordon.
down as
Jack Gordon.
Oh, it was Gordon.
Gordon the punter, Stortenbecker
that's right.
the kicker.
That's right.
So Bedford 1st and 10 on the 23. Under 7 to go. They will throw. Nally almost read perfectly by Embry, who is in coverage, kind of ball hawking Shea Purdy. Pass goes too high, and it's second down. Peyton Embry was sniffing that one out.
Yeah, and he'd have had a pick six there had that ball been thrown on target.
So a second down with 6:50 to go in this one. Bedford can tie it or take the lead. Nally in the shotgun, running back to his right. A little bit of a low snap. Nally over the middle, bobbled incomplete.
Tried to run with it before he caught it. Looked upfield to see where he was going to get hit from.
He went to Asher Weed over the middle, and Weed couldn't haul it in. It's third down now coming up for the Bedford offense. Probably too early to be thinking four-down territory. Definitely the way your defense is playing in the second half. Maybe a little lower scoring game than I anticipated. So now he'll come out of the shotgun on third down. Nally keeps it, spins out of one tackle, still on his feet, first down and more. Nally brought down by Matt Haley, past midfield into East Mills territory at the 36-yard line, and Connor Nally runs hard up the middle. It's going to be a gain of 21. And Bedford in business with 6.5 to go. So Bulldogs will come out of the huddle. Nally with King back there with him, and he gives it to King. King keeps the legs moving, got hit from behind, holds onto the ball, falls forward for another first down to the 25. We've got a Wolverine down after a gain of 11 by Quentin King, but Matt Haley helped up by one of his teammates, and we'll play on. 6:21 to go in this one, and the Bulldogs have moved the ball well after a big run by Nally and a nice chunk by King. Down to the what could be maybe the dreaded 25-yard line and inside.
Yeah, that's they're getting into that territory where they haven't had a whole lot of success tonight.
Nally keeps it, doesn't get anything out of that. Broden Ray cleans it up. Second down coming up for Bedford, under 6 to go in this one. We'll call it 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs.
After taking over late in the second quarter, Connor Nally from the quarterback position has 95 yards on 13 carries.
So in 2nd and 9, he'll have Silas Walston back in the game with him. Pass blocking. Now he's scrambling left. Takes a shot. Weed is open, incomplete, underthrown. Stortenbecker nearly had the pick.
Yeah, Weed ran a stop route there and saw Nally under duress, and he broke it off and broke it upfield. And Nally running to his left tried to throw the ball deep and couldn't quite get it to him.
So 3rd and 9 for Bedford, 5:20 remaining, down 24-18. They will try to rush in a play from the sideline. Silas Walston, I think, actually might have too many men on the field, comes out. Down to 5 on the play clock. Nally takes the snap, fakes the option, keeps it. Close to the first down. Going to be a little bit short, though, and it's a big 4th down coming up for Bedford.
Big 4th down call here by Jeremy Nally. You still got 5 minutes. You've got plenty of time here, but boy, this is a big call. You know, you might want to call a timeout here and talk about this one.
It'll be 4th and 4.
He got the play coming in, so he's not going to waste a timeout here yet.
They've ran a lot of either jet sweep or fake the jet sweep and run with Nally, but I imagine that's what East Mills is anticipating here. So here we go, 4th and 4, under 5 to go. Bedford will keep it with Nally. Shovel to Walston. He got it, but it gets pushed out of bounds. I think he's going to be
close.
short.
That is.
A little bit of extracurriculars after. I think the spot. That's a very. Okay, they're going to say first down East Mills. That looked like a fortuitous Bedford spot, but they will say he's about a yard shy. And again, East Mills defense stiffens in the red zone. It's the 5th time tonight Bedford has come up short. Inside the 25, and East Mills will take over with 4:37 to go. So East Mills, I'd imagine we're going to see a heavy dose of the run game. Trying to ice this game. 24-18 East Mills leading. Oh, run it. Stortenbecker gets a couple. Well, no, I actually didn't get anything out of him. I lost a yard. 4.5 to go. Bedford has 2 timeouts left.
Loss of about 1, second 11.
We're going to say a loss of 1 on the run. And Tom, I'm going to guess we're going to see Stortenbecker run, maybe another Stortenbecker run, maybe sprinkle Thornburg in there, but East Mills is going to keep that ball on the ground and keep the clock moving.
Yeah, and I think we'll see Coach Nally call a timeout after this play right here to get the ball back and have as much time as he can.
Second 11, Thornburg acting like he wants to throw, takes a shot. Gordon beat his man, incomplete. Pass is overthrown, and it's third down, and the clock stops with 3:51 to go.
Yeah, boy, I don't understand that. I understand you're wanting to get a first down, but boy, you can do 2 things here. You can either run the clock or you can cause him to take a timeout, waste a timeout here that he won't have on offense. So
definitely second 11. I mean, you want to get something here. You know, if it's second and 2, maybe that's when you take your shot. But on second 11 turns into third and 11 now. Thornburg wants to throw. Pressure coming off the edge. King in pursuit. Thornburg just has to cut bait, and that might be intentional grounding. Unless they say he was outside.
The ball just has to get back to the line of scrimmage, and it was close. It was very close. So,
but Bedford's going to get the ball back after a 3-and-out with 3:47 to go. So the Bedford defense makes a stop. That snap much cleaner to Gordon. Nice punt by him. Will bring Weed back and bounce out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it at. They're going to spot the 35-yard line. So Bedford's going to get the football with 3:47 left. 2 timeouts. Down 6, needing a touchdown to tie it.
They need a big play.
Yeah.
They have had no success inside the 25-yard line. They need a big play, something that's going to score from out, because they just have not had any success inside that 25-yard line.
So Nally in the shotgun. Puts Motzinger in motion. Gives it to Motzinger on the left side. Flag comes flying in as he doesn't get anything out of it. And if that's on Bedford, that'll back him up. With 3:41 to go. And it's holding on Bedford to back him up more. So that long field gets a little longer now for Bedford. Back to the 25-yard line. So they need 55 yards in the next 3 minutes and 41 seconds. We saw very similar game to this one, I feel like, on Saturday in Tarkio with East Atchison and Rockport. Rockport scored with a minute left. East Atchison went down, scored the game winner with 14 seconds left. High drama here in this one tonight in Malvern. On first and long, Nally. They'll hand it off to Purdy, who wants to throw downfield. Motzinger, incomplete. A little trickery on the Bedford side on first down. They gave it to Purdy, and then he wanted to go to Motzinger, but it's all for naught at second and long coming up
Second down and 20.
for the Bedford offense. 3:34 to go in this one. Tom, this is 4-down territory, I would say, for sure, for the Bulldogs. Nally in the shotgun. Pressure coming by East Mills, and the screen falls flat in front of Quentin King. And it's now third down. Coming up for Bedford.
Well, on the screen, you want to let those linemen come, but you've got to get one good shot on them. And boy, I tell you what, they were right in his face before he even got his drop made.
So now it's 3rd and 20 for East Mills for Bedford from their own 25-yard line, trailing East Mills 24-18, and we're going to get a timeout taken by Bedford. And to me, Tom, that timeout there says this is definitely 4-down territory.
Oh, there's no doubt. Yeah, at this point, you're gonna end up going for it here. I don't know. 3rd and 20 is a long ways. 3:29. I don't know. You're right in that.
But I mean, you just took a timeout.
Yeah. I realize.
Now you're down to 1.
I realize that taking the timeout, and that could have been a motivation thing, a thing to come in and rally the troops and say, hey, we're going to get what we can get here, and if we have to punt, we'll punt, and defense make another stand. I don't know. We'll see.
So Bedford will have it 3rd and 20 from their own 25. East Mills leading 24-18. 3:29 left in this one. There's been a field goal for East Mills, but their only second half points. Bedford has managed a touchdown, a 2-point try, and 2 safeties for their 12 points in the second half. So a big 3rd down coming up. Nally they've got Tristan Cummings back in the quarterback spot on 3rd down. Blitz coming. Cummings to Weed. Intercepted! And out of bounds with it is Embry. That was Peyton Embry that gets the pick. And East Mills gets the ball near midfield on the Bedford territory of midfield with 3:25 to go. And that was all set up by the pressure coming up. No, I think it was Broden Ray that got there and got in Cummings' face.
Yeah, they brought 3 guys on the left side of that offensive front. And, that's not – boy, I tell you what, you can't blame Cummings for that one because he had guys right in his face.
So Peyton Embry gets the pick. And now East Mills, they're going to try to chew as much of this clock as they can. They're going to go under center for the first time out. Here's McGrew to the outside. McGrew inside the 20 and spun down kind of awkwardly, but it's a first down for East Mills inside the Bedford red zone. So East Mills trying to ice this one.
Give him 20 on that.
And the Wolverines going to burn as much clock as they can. So they're on the 16. 25 seconds left on the play clock. They can run this down to about 2:45. Bedford has 1 timeout left. And East Mills in no rush. They break the huddle with 12. And again, they'll go under center. They had not gone under center all night. They will here, and they give it McGrew. Spun the line of scrimmage by Graham Godsey. And they can run it back down to about 2 minutes before taking another snap. And, Tom, you're in a situation, first down here for East Mills will end it.
Yeah, no doubt. First down, and even if they don't get a first down here, it's going to be a really long field for Bedford with probably less than a minute to go.
So on 2nd and 10, they hand it off McGrew. McGrew being patient, nothing there up the middle. I think now Bedford going to take their final timeout. They will with 1:16 to go. One other thing to think about too, Tom, East Mills has a pretty good weapon in Ryan Stortenbecker. That from where we stand right now, it would be a 34-yard field goal.
That's easy money for him.
He's got a long of 35 this year, so it's it's not automatic, but it's well within his range.
Right.
And it would grow it to a 2-score lead.
Yeah. I think that's what they're looking at here. I would expect to see a run to center that ball up as it's in the center of the field right now, and I would expect to see it stay there.
So 3rd and 10 from the 17 coming up for East Mills with under 2 minutes to go. This game is going in excess of 2.5 hours.
There's no doubt Stortenbecker has the leg. From here, from the make it the 16-yard line and 7 back as from the 23. That'd be a 33-yarder, somewhere in that nature. Yeah, he's got all kinds of leg for that with the wind behind him.
So, again, East Mills going to go I formation with Thornburg, Stortenbecker as fullback, and McGrew. And they play action. Thornburg trying to make a play with his legs. Breaks out of a tackle. Close to the first down. I think he's going to be shy, it looks like.
A couple yards shy, I believe.
But they can run this clock down to a minute. Hear me out, Tom. Hard count. And then if you don't get him to jump.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's a good call there. Go up the line of scrimmage and see if you can get him to jump. And if you can, it's over. If you can't, then you bring your crew on and kick the field goal and go up 2 scores.
This will be a 27-yard field goal where we stand right now for Ryan Stortenbecker. I think instead they're going to run this all the way down and then take a timeout and bring Stortenbecker on. So timeout taken by East Mills with 1:05 left. Up 6. And they'll talk it over. Maybe there's some thought of going for it. Saying, hey, if we don't get it, we're at least guaranteeing that they have to go a long field, no timeouts. But I still think I'd take my chances.
It's 4th and 4 here. I'd take my chances with Stortenbecker's leg.
So they're spending plenty of time talking about it. What a fun game here tonight. 6 total turnovers, 2 safeties, 3 rushing touchdowns from Zach Thornburg, putting East Mills in prime position right now to get a very big district win and put themselves in a really.
They're going
to kick it.
They're putting the tee down, and they're going to kick it right now.
So this will be a 27-yarder. If he puts it through, it would make it a 9-point game with a minute to go. Snap wasn't really there. Kick is blocked. It's on the ground. East Mills gets to it, but Bedford's going to get it back with 59 ticks to go and no timeout left.
There's still life. There is still life.
The ball is on about the 27-yard line. First and 10.
So they're going to spot it. They just said 27. That looks more like 17. It'll be 17-yard line. And now Bedford will go to work. Tristan Cummings back in at quarterback. If you're just tuning in, he started the night at quarterback. They put Connor Nally back there for a while. Now Cummings back there. Cummings, quick throw, caught by Weed. Weed trying to get out of bounds. He can't. Clock will continue to run. Got about 5. Bedford will hustle up to the line of scrimmage. 45 seconds left. Cummings, pressure coming, unwinds one. It is caught by Bedford.
Caught by Weed.
Asher Weed comes up with it inside the 35. He is slow to get up. There's a little bit of debate whether it's a catch or an incomplete pass. That looked like a catch to me. They're going to say incomplete pass.
Huh.
That's on the far sideline away from us, but they're going to say incomplete, and that wipes out what would have been a gain inside the 40. Weed made a great play just having a shot at it.
Yeah, I didn't see how the ball came out, but it must have come out when he came to the ground.
That was a very late signal on that.
Well, I think the guy who called it didn't necessarily call it a completion, but he made contact with that sideline judge that saw the ball come out.
So it wipes out the big play. 3rd and 6, 36 seconds to go. Cummings, again, pressure coming, can't take a sack, takes a shot. Purdy let him out of bounds, had the right idea. Good coverage, though, by Embry, who just had the pick earlier. And here we go with a 4th and 6 from their own 27.
Brings up 4th down and 6.
Bedford, maybe their postseason lives hanging in the balance. Never know what would happen with wild card positions. There are 2 and 8 player, but you'd love to not have to worry about that, and this would put you in a good spot. 4th in the ball game with 29 ticks to go. Cummings They ran it and didn't get it. Walston is stopped short. Interesting call there. And East Mills, the defense all night, made the stops they needed to. And Claude Lang breathes a sigh of relief on the East Mills sideline, as the Wolverines are going to hold on and get the win. And it wasn't the prettiest win by any means, but when they look at the standings, they won't know that. They'll just know that it was a very happy homecoming for East Mills and a 24-18 victory as Zach Thornburg goes down to a knee. The Wolverines now 4-2 on the year. Tom Moore, interesting game tonight. Your thoughts?
Boy, not a bit of what we thought we'd see. We saw more runs by Thornburg than we ever thought we would see, and less passes. He only threw it 19 times for 173, and in fact, his last 6 were incompletions. He only had 2 completions in the second half. But on the other side, we thought we'd see Bedford run it, and they did. They ran it a lot. Bedford had a lot more plays than what East Mills did on the night. But for Bedford to throw the ball, they actually threw the ball 32 times on the evening, and that's something we didn't expect to see.
And then fourth in the ball game, they run it. Also something we probably didn't expect to see. But East Mills now 4-2 on the year. They've got 2 more regular season games coming up. They got East Union next week, then Stanton Essex the following week. As for Bedford, they're now 3-3 on the year, 1-3 in district play, and they will face Stanton Essex on Friday night next week. That's it here tonight. 24-18 East Mills, your victor. We'll have a full story online later on at KMAland.com. You've been listening to high school football on the KMA video stream. For KMA Sports and Tom Moore, I'm Trevor Mader. Thanks for listening, and have a great night.